Waduh. Anjing gede banget guys suaranya guys. Telinga gua. Masih tidak menyangka gua guys. Belum ada 1 bulan. Oke guys, gue login dulu guys. Masih ini kali belum stabil. Kegedean nggak suaranya guys? Masih nggak nyangka gue guys. Tapi sumpah ya. Kegedean nggak sih suaranya Tam? Apa nggak ada suaranya guys? Apa nggak ada suaranya ini? Game.
So technically they have a better composition that has better synergy. They can all just dive in together right here, and they have more mobility tools. We talked about how Geek Fam are good at moving in and out of fights.
Nggak ada. Sekarang ada nggak?
Kind of pivoted more to this all-in style. Now with all this mobility,
Udah. Gedean apa pas apa kekecilan?
with the independent mobility that Valentina has, I think Geek Fam can be a bit more tricky, a bit more elusive in the neutral objective contests, which is a great sign that they're not going to be one-dimensionally playing that neutral objective side.
Nggak nyangka guys, sebagai Eposss secepat ini balik kampung.
What do you mean Cho being banned here? I don't. Are they assuming that the Cho would go EXP lane? I
Guys, belum apa ya, belum.
Mungkin
ini tebakan gue gitu ya. Tebakan gue gitu ya. Nah kan emang selama ini Muntu tuh kalau bikin hero baru tuh emang secara power kadang masih imbalance, masih imbal lah, masih terlalu OP. Dan Muntu meyakini itu sehingga supaya di kompetisi lebih fair, karena tahu kalau dipakai sama pro player bakal kelihatan banget nih imbanya gimana nih, susah di counter segala macam, jadi mending di ban aja. Kan nunggu skinnya rilis baru ntar di adjust. Nunggu skin OP-nya rilis dulu baru di adjust ya biasanya. Atau nanti pas playoff nih baru dipakai karena udah di adjust dikit-dikit, damage-nya dikurangin, cooldown-nya dilamain.
Now for Geek Fam revealing the first part of the puzzle, I think they might just reserve the
Bennett in this patch belum di-adjust, dibikin balance.
So what are we looking at? Like, do you think Claude is going to surface here?
The Claude can definitely work up against the Hayabusa and the Khalid. Getting a blink would definitely help them out, but yeah, honestly, it makes sense. Maybe picking up a Claude hero would be great, and then they go for the
Dapat lah, guys.
later.
Ganteng
I'm thinking
gua mah,
more
gua
about
juga.
what they're gonna go for
There is.
Veldora.
Don't they need setup?
Yeah, exactly.
Apa
Safe
ini?
option will be what?
Geek Fam.
Terizla. Arlet would be a pretty solid tool to utilize to... Oh, they go for the balance. Wow,
Kan, Jo?
signature Veldora, it seems.
So who's gonna set up for these team fights, or are they not looking for setup for these team fights?
Alpha
Ngantuk cuy, Anavel sih lumayan udah ngantuk guys. Lumayan udah ngantuk Anavel guys, meremehkan kah? Meremehkan Geek Fam kah guys ini guys? Teori.
Guarantee some of these neutral objectives for Geek Fam as well. But for Evos, again, so much tankiness, so much sustain as well. Something that can do a lot of damage, or something that can kind of stop the Samus and Alpha from being active, from dealing damage and regenerating at the same time would be great. So I'm thinking some kind of crowd control tool would be great to add on top of this.
Kurang suka sih guys walaupun pakai Zazas. Antuk pullnya easy katanya.
Who'd that be?
I think for
5
them, it's
play
just a
off deh
safe
kata
goal
si Veldora
later.
lagi.
Honestly, they can still
Nah,
go.
play
Wait,
off.
never mind. I was thinking maybe a Kaja Beatrix that they've been utilizing a lot. Ooh! Oh!
Nah,
The king of marksman
Nah.
playing a mage in the gold
guys kok
lane.
matiin kompor
That's
lu.
something I didn't expect.
Wow. I mean, I did say have fun. So maybe Brands
They
is
heard you.
experimenting
They
with
heard
something
you.
new
They heard you.
for his final performance.
Along with that, they
Okay.
still go for the Vexana, so layering on the crowd control still. For Geek Fam, going with the Natan though, because of the dangerous situation, man. He's gonna be having a lot of outplay potential, but against a Hayabusa, he's definitely in danger still. And even if he wants to play safe with a Khalid, with a Hayabusa and Edith, there's so many ways for Evos to punish Chidera, who's already a very safe player in that marksman role. So I think Geek Fam have to try and do a lot more work to zone people away from their backline to ensure that Chidera can have impact. Because otherwise, he might just be forced to have low impact.
Karena
to try
Alis
and
kan
get some
lu
survival
fan
in this
saudaranya.
game.
All right. But you know, technically,
Tambah timer lagi guys.
Geek, they don't
Oke
have...
Google.
No, Evos. Oh no, Geek, yeah. Geek don't have
Gua
stoppers
timer
towards the
2
Hayabusa
menit.
either. So it really depends on how both of these teams will be executing it in the land of Dawn. And to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, this is actually the last match for both of these teams. Not just for Evos,
Match
but also
terakhir
for
Eposss,
Geek to
guys.
close out the
Eposss,
regular
Eposss,
season
di
of
sini
MPL ID
Eposss, Eposss
season
digidal.
14. And with that, let's welcome you into the land of Dawn for game number 1 between the White Tigers and the Geeks.
Vincent finally relying
Skin Ducati
on
muncul
his
sekarang, guys.
jungler, and Beloyski going back to his
Duh,
roots.
kalau gua dari
What made him
dulu
strong
aja
back in
ada
the day,
yang
it's
Leomord,
the
gua ambilnya yang
and it's
Leomord
the
guys.
healers.
Tapi not bad
What
sih
we
kalau
see
kata
Geek
gua
Fam do
paling
this
bagus
year.
emang Iritel sih
Going
guys
for the
skin ini ya.
aggression piled up
Skin
on the
apa?
Alpha,
Skin
because we've
Ducati
seen
karena dipakai terus
players like
motornya cuy.
Fabian, to name a few,
Di
that
Ducati
can just
stands out
elevate
cuy.
the early game
Ya
presence
nggak?
so much.
Kalau yang lain kan kayak
But
Benedetta,
get to see and
Leomord kan pas
wait,
lagi ulti
for
atau
the
pas
rest of the
momen-momen tertentu
roster
doang
here, 'cause
skillnya
we can see that
dipakai.
Aboy and Beloyski, with this combo, there's just so many ways for them to maneuver around
Ya
and
nggak sih,
go
guys?
for outplays, but not a lot of all-in potential just yet. So Geek
Ih,
Fam
gua
have to
login
wait for a
gini
bit
kalau bikin
longer as
voting
Sycon
guys
rolls.
sebenarnya.
Bit of aggression early on. This is what we've seen from the Khalid, utilizing the crazy movement speed to be active around the map.
Lanjut.
But back into this, just as an idea for the viewers as well, if we're talking about winning lanes, what should we be, focusing on for both of these teams?
When it comes to winning lanes, the Khalid can have the roam advantage, but Dreams forced to flicker out very, very early on. Beloyski elevating that early game, level 1, level 2 Matilda presence.
So can we say that Geek has the winning mid trio?
Ooh, I wouldn't be that confident saying that, because against a Vexana, it's definitely a tough situation, but when there's 3 members, 2-1, Clock can't really do much.
Oh, Annabelle, no level 4 just yet. Interesting move by him, trying to rely on the fact that he'll get level 4, but because of this, Vincent gets a whole lot more. Speed of Alpha coming down. Annabelle, no quad shadow. Now full dive
Gila
with
di
Veldora, and Vincent picks up first blood.
Digas, gas
on utility
terus.
There it is, the aggressive
Sudahlah.
layer of aggressivity that we were
Eposss sudahlah,
expecting from
Eposss.
Vincent. From the start, shining on his utility junglers, we do see the performance being a lot more comfortable for him, as again, very aggressive alongside with Beloyski here.
Yep. And now it is a free purple buff. Vincent didn't even go for the retribution on that. Annabelle, no purple. I don't think he can contest on the turtle, and Vincent will be given free space. What? Cyclops comes in and just basic attack.
Itu dia.
Annabelle walks up trying to go for some more. Veldora's gonna be caught.
Itu the
Has
king,
vengeance.
the captain.
Guard missing out. Cyclops
Terlambat masuk ke Eposss.
I don't know if he has enough damage to get rid of Veldora, but
Kelas
blocked
gelo
from
guys,
Flora.
Cyclops
Certainly
emang
can.
guys.
Evos equalize with a
Makanya di
turtle
band-bandin
steal.
cuy, di ranked cuy. Hero itu guys, pakai sama Psychots pula.
He actually tipped the spear a lot in favor for
Vincent,
Evos with that
Vincent,
solo
Vincent.
kill onto Veldora too.
Aloyski, very low. The
Masih
shield
nyampe,
comes
nice
in to
banget.
the spear of Alpha, but is unable to find anything. And Evos, they came back out of a tough spot.
Psychots
They
di
even take the
sini.
lead initially, and they were trying to leverage all that aggression to try and get a neutral objective, but we talked about the reliability of the retribution, but
Gila,
Psychots
gila,
got the
gila.
better of them. Wow, and immediately you can see the aggression. The burst damage, I think, still kind of favors Evos to a degree due to that Vexana presence. Depends on what a boy wants to go for with the IMU. He went for the Primal Wrath earlier to get more DPS to try and take down that turtle earlier, but it didn't work out. And now Geek Fam has to play a bit more carefully because Evos, if they get snowballing, this is a scary amount of
Bangga
damage to
dulu
throw
ya.
around.
Psychots ya.
Definitely, for sure. Especially,
Babi, manajemen
I'm
babi.
actually curious
Psychots
as to
idola
how that
gua
will
zaman
reflect
M1
onto
sama
brands
Eposss.
on this Alice pick.
Psychots pas lagi
Right? I
M1
mean,
lagi
they
di mana?
have the space
Kocak.
and maybe they can help them out, but
Paling kiri
Psychots-
siapa tuh paling kiri tuh? Coba
That's
lihat.
the W of the Khalid. I'm guessing just really hard to kill.
Lim Kocul 2-1 untuk Geek Fam.
That's good peel
Musuh
from
gua
Dreams
Lim
and Clockwood,
Kocul.
and Psychots can just regen back up.
Gak pernah
If
spot
you took a
Eposss.
look at the caster or talent prediction earlier on, I think that was a 4v2, I believe.
Yeah, I think Lim Kocho was on our side voting for Geek Fam.
Beli Samsung ya guys ya.
Out, man, 'cause honestly, it's so volatile.
Yang
because
FE-nya
both
baru
teams
keluar
really have
tuh.
a lot of
Udah
defensive
keluar
battle
lama ya?
spells as Beloyski playing risky as always, but again, we've seen Mathildas go for purifies, we've seen Nathans go
Dan
for
Z.
purifies, but none of that is available.
0-0-0
for both teams, right? They just wanna
KDA.
get those flickers in and go for the outplays.
Psychots datang lagi di sana. Anavel memberikan redo terbaiknya di saat-saat yang sudah terlambat meskipun balik guys, ini angkatannya guys. Wah gila guys, Dream S juga guys. Mereka SKS dan tidak kena
Two members
first blood.
taken down, and remember,
Iya.
Annabelle was a level below Vincent earlier on, so
Ada.
again, I mean, pre-game we were talking about the retributions from both of these junglers, and I mentioned if one of the highest qualities for Vincent was that retribution,
Gitu
he is
guys,
going to
ya.
be put up a fight against Annabelle.
Buat
I think the EXP lane is also a big
Vincent.
factor right here. Psychots has been so massively disruptive to the whole composition of
banget ya.
Geek Fam. Whereas on
Kayak
the
rame
flip
banget
side,
tuh, guys.
Veldora on the Thamus.
Eposss ini
Very
posisinya
aggressive hero,
15.
great sustain, running the
Pas
vengeance
abis
even.
MS juga
We
kita
haven't seen
mikirnya,
him really have
pas abis
that
season kemarin juga
annoying
kita mikirnya
impact.
gitu gak sih?
He hasn't been able to
Season
really
13.
zone out 2 or 3 members before the Lord, or I mean the
Apa
Lord
daya?
in the picture. So I feel like Geek Fam have to utilize this Thamus
Manajemen.
pick a bit better. And we saw earlier that
Bisa
strat
gitu.
win rate, the Mathilda
Tim
Alpha,
coaching staff tuh
67%,
melakukan
I
tugasnya
believe.
dengan
So,
baik.
still very high, but
Cuma
not
review match,
unbeatable
review
by
match.
all means. So they
Tapi
gotta
yang
be
paling
careful,
penting
and
adalah
Evos
strategi
starting to
cuy.
show a lot of momentum.
Kalau tugasnya, aduh
There is
guys gua
also
capek banget ya.
just really looking for the
Kalau
scale,
emang
but
coaching
that's
staff
what Brand is
cuma
doing
ngomong
too, and so
ke
far this-
player, lu jangan gerak sini, jangan gerak sana. Lu objektifnya gini, objektifnya sana. Cuma kayak ngajarin dan memastikan kayak pengawas anjir guys, itu mah bukan coach lagi cuy.
I mean, with the Alpha,
Masalahnya kan di sini
you're
kan
supposed to
coach
be
udah
able
nggak
to
bisa
build that momentum
ngomong
from
apa-apa
the
ya pas
early
lagi
game,
bertanding
but
ya.
Evos,
Bagi
the
gue yang
White
paling penting adalah
Tigers, they're
strategi
definitely
guys.
not letting that
Bukan
happen,
cuma
and now
review buat
with
ngingetin
the
doang cuy.
space, they're gonna be able to push up this turret in the
Tapi gue
bottom
gak tau ya
lane.
apakah
Dreams
emang yang di
already with
mixtape yang
conceal.
ditampilin emang
What's the
review-review
plan now
yang
for
general
Geek?
doang.
I think the plan is
Yang
just scale. They
stat-statnya
might
kayak
rely on
misalnya kita kan
Chidera
udah punya
if it
strategi
goes
gini
all the way. They're
gak mungkin
losing
bahas
momentum
juga
this
dan emang
fast. But the
ada
thing is,
gitu
Chidera, again, no
tinggal masuk
purify,
video
and even in
tapi emang
the
gak ada
we saw
cuy
earlier,
bahasan
defensive
strategi setelah
emblems as
review
Dreams
match gitu
is
kayak
supposed to use the
itu
Primal Wrath
strateginya
very, very
tarik
early
ulur
on.
strategi kita late game strategi
Beloyski
kita
coming down with the circling
early
eagle, but
game
Mans is already online now. That's gonna be the Raging Sandstorm into the back line with Annabelle
banget
jumping in
Eposss
as well.
dari dulu
Shadow kill not used
lack
just
of
yet, but now
strategi
Vincent
gitu ya
will actually be targeted down. Annabelle killing sprees
nah
of
Vel
is able to steal the Primal Wrap just to escape the turtle still on it. Geek Fam
Eposss
Clockwood with the curse blast,
membentengi
but it's a
Anavel di
void.
sana
Who
sendiri
secures it for Geek
gak bisa
Fam?
diharas tapi
Evos unable to chase even more, but Annabelle
apa
wants to
gitu
go for it.
dia dapet
Unable to do
tackle
so. Goes back to the quad channel in the back.
He doesn't have purple. Oh wait, is that flicker guiding win? Okay.
Ini
he
yang
doesn't
gua
find Annabelle.
pelajarin
Oh, they are
dari
still going for Annabelle.
Oh,
gameplay ini gua sih sebenarnya permainan Khalid gua di season ini guys.
it just gets out of there, man. Geek Fam
Sebenarnya Khalid
really
tuh
wanted
jangan
that kill or that catch
jangan
somehow,
terlalu
but they
berusaha
don't
buat
get
nguatin
rewarded
lane
for
sih.
it at all.
Kayak lu
They're able to get the
bener-bener
neutral
fast
objective, but
moving
at
aja
what
guys.
cost? Their jungler is
Kayak
getting bullied,
lu habis clear
getting
cepet
pushed
clear nih.
further and
Clear dia kan
further
bisa lebih
behind,
cepat daripada
and
Benedetta
they're
kan
letting
guys.
Annabelle on this
Pergerakannya
Hayabusa
lebih cepat daripada
release
Benedetta
some
tuh.
snowball. 3-1
Karena
and 3
pasifnya itu
on
kan.
Hayabusa
Dia bisa
really
mau
isn't
cut
that
lane
bad at all.
duluan langsung
And again,
lari.
Chidera
rusuh main lain. Misalnya dapat kill balik lagi, clear lagi biar nggak perlu clear di depan turret di ujung sana, ujung lane. Balik lagi ngeharas yang lain, ganggu-ganggu. Kalau ada jungle nganggur, ambilin karena emang sesakit dan secepat itu pergerakannya guys. Musuh nggak akan expert tiba-tiba jungle-nya kosong, tiba-tiba mid lane-nya mati, tiba-tiba di gold kan ada Khalid. Itu guys yang bikin Khalid menyebalkan tuh itu cuy. Bikin kalah pergerakan. Gue rasain ya guys ya. Karena emang damage-nya sakit dan ultimate-nya emang ganggu banget. Udah dulu gak suka nyoba-nyoba guys. Season ini kayaknya seru juga sih. Main Fuyao, main jungle lebih sering. Main XP Fuyao-nya. Fuyao XP awal-awal gue ngerasa kayak aduh susah banget nih. Karena buat dapetin itemnya susah banget. Tapi dia ternyata emang harus ini sih guys. Nyari momennya sih. Dia bukan yang kuat banget kayak Blaze lagi tuh guys, dia main santai-santai juga, masih tebel, masih tanky, masih sakit. Jadi dia gampang mati juga. Pokoknya kan dia di immune ya, sama tujuannya nambah darah yang lumayan. Tujuannya sih, ini sih cuma jadi ada pilihan doang, bisa nge-death atau
Evos Glory take the kill and Geek Fam take the Lord.
There you go. That's what we were expecting from a Thanos pick, right? Being able to push back the whole team by only using a vengeance. It's a great way to use this Thanos, and finally Geek Fam get a massive value out of it. They were kind of relinquished several of the early objectives, but now they go for it.
Wah, nggak dapat kaderanya cuy. Baik lagi dia. Gelo kadera. What? Aduh, digocek cuy. What the hell? Anapel digocek sama kadera guys. Wah gila. Mas banget. Saya pas gak mati juga guys sama Veldora, anjir dibalas. Gak apa-apa Gilang, makasih udah join. Jangan lupa di share ke grup keluarga, grup kecamatan, grup RT, RW, Pemuda Pancasila semuanya guys. Grup kelas, grup wali kelas. Gila banget guys. Biasa aja sih itu mah nafsu sih dulunya sih guys. Tapi 11-5 ini jangan sampai kena comeback dong Eposss di sini. Strateginya gimana bos Eposss bos? Strategi itu bukan cuma di pemilihan hero doang gak sih guys? Strategi itu guys. Kalau kalian ngeliat analisis Mas Ade yang lihat match PH tuh kayak mereka tahu harus ngapain sih, gak cuman kayak ngisi spot kosong doang, ngegas atau enggak doang. Mereka bisa ngasih ruang kosong di sini biar mereka tahu
Wait a second, circling Eagle. Okay, I thought Blaze was gonna go for that again, but there you go. Holy Crystal picked up for Brands. And if we're comparing power spikes, who would you say that it is better for? Brands or Chidera?
Itu.
I don't know, man. I think as of right now,
ngapain sih ini objektifnya apa?
Bisa
enggak bisa. Kalau nggak bisa balik. Gimana strateginya guys? Emang gitu doang. Objektif kalau nggak bisa objektif balik. Ini misplay yang emang harusnya nggak terjadi di MPL guys. Tapi berarti nggak ada strategi lain selain objektif doang gitu. Bang jangan sampai ini apa?
Did they just use the recall?
Yeah.
Was it Geek using the recall? I think it was Geek that was using the Evos recall. Man, I want the recall.
Great recalls here. A lot of options as well. A Geek Fam, I think right here is where their sustainability really allows them to kind of make fully Evos away because they have so much more ways to sustain and
jadi ganteng gini bos?
Back in and out of fights. Whereas for Evos, it's a bit more of an all-in, especially in an EXP lane. Cyclops is so limited when it comes to how long he can actually have presence in the middle of a fight. Let's see if he can kind of make
dari belakang.
Brands is still up top, by the way. Oh, it's a reset.
Di reset tuh. Brands-nya di atas.
Stealing away the purple buff from Evos Glory right under their noses.
Ngapain Veldora di situ guys ya? Strategi kan nih? Lagi ngambil buff ya? Lagi ngambil buff itu Veldora ya?
What do they want to do? What are they planning? Do they want to try to take out Veldora 2v1? I guess they are circling back. That's a damage being placed in, but look at this. Conceal play.
Giga sama Anapel, kobel-kobel Winter saja dilakukan oleh Aboy. Aboy harus mati dari tangan Anapel. Dreams juga harus mati di tangan. Aduh guys, apa-apaan sih? Anapel masih hidup di sana ultimate. Dapat satu orang. Kebingungan di sana, tidak bisa mengharus balik guys. Akan mati setengah singkat oleh Kadel. 2 lawan 2. Mid jungle lawan Gold XP. Siapa yang akan menang sini? Anapel dihalangi Veldora guys. Mati pula dia di sana. Enggak cuy. Wah. Jadi set ada kesempatan kah guys? Ada kesempatan kah? Sepertinya tidak cuy. Terlalu cepat ini Kadera. Aduh lambat guys. Ngapain ya si Anapel, ngapain clear mid dulu ya? Ini gampang dihalanginya sama Veldora guys. Apa gue nggak ngerti ya? Kenapa dia di situ ya? Kenapa dia nggak nge-flanking ke arah bawah lewat lane bawah gitu ya? Arahnya si Cloud pun. Gue nengok dikit mati Anapel.
One-shotting Annabelle. Well, Annabelle was also so low right there, greeting for the purple buff. That's unfortunate. As Geek Fam now take full control, they're waiting on the Lord. And looking at the items, man, that is a nasty Natan. And so far, there hasn't been a way for Evos to conveniently take him out. Chadera walking up with the entropy. Clockun getting caught half HP. Veldora, no vengeance.
Ultinya ini Vexana. Semuanya Vexana.
No Annabelle still. Veldora walking up the zone. Evos Glory away. Slowly but surely getting rid of these base turrets. Psychon sent down below. Dreams able to bring the Lord into that mid lane. Entropy! Clockun forced to flicker. Wow.
Very disciplined though by Geek Fam, right? I mean, technically Chadera just picked up the Divine Glaive, so even more of a big power spike for him. Other than the fact that he already has a Holy Crystal, has a Divine Glaive to boot. But they still didn't want to go for it. They still waited for these lanes to kind of push in, and here it is.
Again, some damage placed down. Eternal only catching Vincent Brands.
Kurangnya dikit
Jumping
banget
to the
sih.
middle with the winner crown as well.
Kena 2 orang. Psychot baik sekali di sana. Branzet mendapatkan momen yang sangat baik dengan Winter ya guys ya. Dreams. Wah, hampir mati Aboy guys. Dreams mundur nggak sih Dreams? Winter. Sekarang Winter jadi kayak murah banget ya. Semua orang pakai Winter sih. Momen-momen yang emang kayak masih early fighting banget. Kayak baru open world terus Winter. Bingkatnya bagus ininya. Mau di end kah? Tadi. Dua orang mati nih, apakah bisa manfaatkan dengan sangat baik. Tidak ada marksman di sana. Nice. Padahal udah kan hidup lagi guys.
Chadera spawning in. Evos Glory will be happy with just one base turret. Oh man.
Ya boy, bayangkan tuh tadi ya. Menyerahkan nyawa harta tahtanya gitu.
That's what we were talking about earlier. Chadera immediately deleted in that fight. He doesn't even have a defensive itemization choice there. Not even the win of nature. He's relying purely on his team to try and disrupt, to try and protect him from all of this danger. But when Evos are willing to spend 3 flickers to take you out, come on, man. It's a bit too idealistic to assume that you won't be able to be assassinated just like that. Now with the base turrets down, though, Geek Fam has a more guaranteed way of getting this next Lord. Unless, of course, Evos can adapt and do something surprising. But look at the shred
banget.
They're blitzing it.
Ganzet, aduh, kenapa nggak masuk ya? Aduh, Anapelnya lah masih jauh banget. Diwarin guys. Veldoranya boleh keluar nih guys. Menjaga Anapel kelas. Digocek saja. Tapi Aboy berhasil ke arah belakang guys. Mendapatkan kelaukan dan juga Psychot. Nice banget.
Able to get the kill now with the quad shadow escaping, but will lose his life to a boy. A chaotic duel, a chaotic skirmish.
Aduh.
Getting chased down, Beloyski and a boy. In this pursuit,
Another guiding win to give a boy the range
Bisa
necessary to jump
begitu ya
in.
guys ya.
and
Udah
they
suarain
defend.
aja nggak sih kayak gini mah guys.
Dreams of the Earth Shatter,
Pas di defense.
unable to buy enough time. Now with the onward two, Psychops is trying to hold the Lord
Recall
back.
langsung.
13 seconds for Brand. Psychops on the heel.
Tetep masih
A mini
begitu
wave
guys.
coming down into the mid lane.
Dari
Into the
kekuatan
base where
Psychops.
they go. 7 seconds on Brand.
Psychops
They're all going to go for it.
kita
Psychops
datang.
able to go with the Raging Sandstorm onto 2, but the Lord is finally on it. They won't be able to defend. Geek Fam take game number 1.
With a 4.4k gold lead, but that was such a chaotic game number 1, ladies and gentlemen, to start the series between both of these teams. And I gotta say, it was very close for both of them winning it out. It was so scrappy, it was so aggressive.
Ah,
What can you say, man? Both teams really want to get this win, really want to make a statement, and you can see it in their play styles. Gone are the calculated, hesitant Evos, and gone are the late game passive Geek Fam. Both teams is going toe to toe, going to try and get the tempo and aggression all the way since the beginning. Man,
Well played to Geek Fam, finally able to get through those maneuvers in, man, with the guiding win, always just guiding back and forth, and in the late game, staying decisive with Chidera on an Atan to burst the Lord down.
I think it's great composure for Geek Fam to really play around the neutral objective. They know they have the base tower advantage, so
kenapa ya
they
anak
were really
kayak nggak
calculated
perform
with
banget
that.
cuy.
Sending
Gue
Veldora
selalu
around
kayak
to
kemarin
be
ya, kayak dulu sih. Ini gue
just behind
bukannya
enemy lines, knowing that he
pick
can
me atau
survive for so much
sotoy juga.
longer.
Mungkin gue
Just
sotoy
straight
kali
away
ya.
go
Lebih
for
ke
it,
sotoy sih
making
gue
sure that
guys.
Evos has no
Tapi
time
ya
at
guys
all.
ya, ini
And
jujur
I think
ya.
Evos really
Dulu waktu tas
overcommitted right
juga
here.
kalian bilang,
They have no
maksudnya
idea
banyak yang
what
bilang
to
tas
expect,
gendong-gendong
where
sendirian.
the opponents are,
Yang
and they were
lainnya
just trying to
cukup
find
beban.
something,
Kalau kata gue sih tas
anything to
juga dari
take
dulu
in
kurang sih
exchange
guys.
for that
Karena
Lord. But you can see Veldora and
perannya
the
sebagai
boy
jungle-nya itu
in the back
kan di
just
red
wreaking
ya. Dan
havoc,
dulu
dude.
rednya
Even
kadang
though
suka
Chidera
yang
was eventually taken
asing
out
banget gitu.
in the backlines as well.
Objektifnya jarang banget
Individually,
dapat.
right? There's
Itu
more
bakal
plays
dibilang, oh
available
ini
for the members of Geek Fam,
setupnya segala macam.
and because
Tapi
of that,
guys,
and of course with the Lord coming in as well, two
kalau
members alone
telat
just
jalan
aren't
mulu kan
enough.
berarti
Isn't
perhitungannya
enough
nggak
to really
ini
defend
guys,
against the full push
nggak
coming in
bagus
from
gitu.
Geek Fam.
I agree. I think that was a big overcommitment, an overstep from Evos. I think if the initial Raging Sandstorm doesn't launch onto
Coba lu
Chidera,
lihat Kairi
it's
ya.
very difficult for you to say that
Kairi
you guys can
dulu
actually
waktu
commit onto
di
it
game
because
kemarin
Chidera
lawan
can actually
Eposss
just
lah.
kite around to shout that damage, and
Sendirian
of course
bisa
there's still
kok.
Beloyski with
Skill
the guiding
skill
win to weave in and weave out of these
Itu
team
masalah
fights.
setupnya sih kalau kata gue ya.
It was unfortunate. It was
Gak
very
tahan
close for
apa sih, dan
Evos, but
strateginya
I
guys
don't
gue
know,
nggak
maybe they
tahu
can
ya.
bring that
Strategi
same
mungkin lepas
energy
objektif
to
mungkin
game
ya.
number 2
Kalau
and,
lagi
you know,
kontes gitu
force
ya.
this into a full best of 3 series.
Pusing juga guys gue ngeliatnya cuy.
It's definitely possible. We saw that game was really close until it wasn't, right? I
Yeah.
think that final objective was really that, that intense. Exactly because of that. And even the Lord before, right, where Chidera was kind of trying to burst it down with Clockun just waiting around. This game had a lot of very intense moments.
It really did, and it came down to just one moment where they were able to burst the Lord down, one good red tree, and then they backed away instantly, right? But for Evos as well, they got the kill onto Vincent, and then they overchased. Brands didn't have the purple buff, kept on chasing in, and it was guided by Chidera, and ultimately, it became a gamble at that time, right? It was either they defend the Evolved Lord 4v5, or they fight. They chose fight, and they didn't get the dub.
So what do we think about Brands on the Alice, by the way?
I think it showed potential. It showed promise. I think the only person to make the Alice Gold work is still Aaron Shiki.
Still
0% win rate.
100%. Yeah, I think Aaron's still in 100, isn't he?
Aaron's the only one 100, and everybody else is at 0 for gold lane.
It's kind of crazy. You have to wonder, is it an issue with the actual pick and the player in the gold lane, or is it an issue with the team? Right? Because Team Liquid, I think no one's going to try and refute the fact that they are one of the more adaptable type of teams. And, maybe the Alice just requires a different kind of setup, a different kind of coordination that some teams just haven't really found just yet. But, man, that early game again, there's just so many aggressive moments. But I think Geek Fam did a great job weathering the storm right there. Even though technically Evos were starting to snowball, they were still able to really get their backline members really farmed up towards the late game.
I agree. I think there were a lot of moments, especially Psychots in the early portion of the game being able to pick up that turtle first and really hinder the initial aggressivity that Geek were portraying on to Evos. But we do have to crown our MVP, ladies and gentlemen, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S24 series. And of course, with 100% TP, it's Beloyski on the Matilda.
What can I say, man? It's literally just classic Beloyski. When you give him a pick like the Matilda, hey, surprise, surprise, the king is back on the Mathilda. Beloyski always known for the Mathilda. Back in M3 as well. It was a spectacular performance. Now it's nothing short of spectacular as well.
That is the MVP presented by our official tournament smartphone, the Samsung Galaxy S24 series. But right here is the player of the game highlights by our official gold partner, Evos Gold. And you can see that he was doing a great job, even in the early game, just scouting out, finding information for his team. Because really, right, with Vincent and Veldora being the front lines, one is a jungler, the other is an all-in type of hero of Veldora on the Thamus. So the only person that can kind of poke around and try and get information is Beloyski. And of course, in true Beloyski style, moments like this do happen, but in the grand scheme of things, right? We gotta look at the whole performance overall. He was able to find great moments right here to counter-engage, kind of make distance available for his backline members. And even there, unfortunately, he got taken out, but initially, right, the circling eagle towards the divers from the side of Evos, and then the guiding wind towards the back for Chidera to have an escape plan. It's a great planning from Beloyski here and how he's about to position and what his job is in the middle of these fights. And you can see it right there, that guiding wind once again allows them to kind of just get a bit, just that much further away from Evos and make that engage just less effective.
I'm imagining being Evos and looking at these highlights, these replays coming in from Beloyski. He's so annoying. Like, imagine committing flicker and your ult, and then Beloyski just takes that entire thing away. So you lose so much in the process. So good at baiting out these resources, and eventually that was the reason why they were able to get the dub. So well-deserved Beloyski POTG.
Definitely, you know. The Flask of the Oasis coming in clutch, the Blood Wings as well, getting him more mobility, more movement speed. And on top of that, he already has the Wilderness Blessing. So those fights around the neutral objectives, he gets so much more value with the Mathilda.
And with the Inspire, man, that's why he's able to spam out a lot more spells. He's gonna be a bit squishier, but that's a bold move made by Beloyski. But I guess that's the benefit of not being fearful of death. We know Beloyski to be the 0-7 king, right? So on the Mathilda, even though he's not going for any sort of tenacity or firmness or anything extra to help him out, he knows that it's fine. I'm gonna be the main person scouting out for info, and if I get taken out, as long as I do it in the right moment, as long as I prevent the right people on my team from getting picked off, I think he thinks it's a value trade. And looking at the items as well, the Winter Crown soon afterwards for Beloyski for just that extra bit of outplay potential. And again, we're seeing this being a bit of a trend almost. I think mainly for Geek Fam, if I recall correctly, they really like having this fourth item Winter Crown because it really comes up. That fourth item kind of gets farmed up in those very critical like neutral objective fights. So since a big fight is coming up, an extra bit of outplay potential from the Winter Crown really can swing the tides in favor of Geek Fam. And so far, I don't think a lot of teams have been able to really punish that.
You know, for someone who really went all in aggression like Annabelle on the Hayabusa, I think mid-game he went in Sky Piercer. The fact that there were a lot of Winter Crowns already being built in by that mid-game by Geek Fam also did disrupt Annabelle's process in being the killer, quote-unquote, for his team.
Suelo and Cerezo, it seems, the boys.
Hi, Suelo.
Making an appearance right here, man.
Aether and X-Win too. Seems they want to have a little bit of fun here in this game.
Welcome, welcome.
Welcome to the games, boys. Maybe this is foreshadowing. Maybe Cerezo will be joining Geek Fam next season.
Oh, conspiracy?
Maybe Suelo to Evos. Oh, Aether to Evos or Geek. X-Win to Evos or Geek.
Interesting theories there, Mirko. Maybe, you know, we
transfer
never
rumors.
Know. We never know.
From now.
I guess
you gotta start
all those
building up the
clippers gotta
rumors,
start
bro.
clipping.
Exactly, gotta start early so that you can build up that momentum. You
Man,
know,
if
that
that
fire.
actually happens.
Guys,
That's
Eposss
wild.
2-0 aja dah, nggak apa dah.
Called it.
Someone
Mirko
screenshot.
called
No,
it.
MPL
Apa ya guys,
called
nontonnya
it.
guys.
MPL called it, yeah.
3 game
Someone
ujungnya
screenshot
kalah.
that and then use it if they actually join Evos or Geek Fam next season.
That would be pretty wild.
That would be
Pretty
weird though.
wild.
Cerezo, ex-BTR to Geek, Luke from Geek to BTR. If that actually happens, right? The trade-off.
That's true.
But
That's
darling.
But, you know, back again into this match, ladies and gentlemen, it is Geek Fam that were able to win that first game to lead this series. I don't know, what did you guys think about that game? Because, again, it felt so scrappy to me.
Yeah, I did. I think
For both of them.
I think it should have been a clean game for Geek Fam side with the Alpha in the jungle and the Mathilda. They should have been able to get a lead, which they did in the early game, and get those turtles to actually get a snowball. But unfortunately, they didn't. So they had to scrap it out. They had to slug it out. They had to just go, all right, 1v1 me, bro.
I think the big portion of that was Psychots, right? The roaming, the steal onto the turtle as well. Again, even in the final fight, when he doesn't really get a value Raging Sandstorm, the team just looks a lot weaker overall. So definitely a lot of pressure on the shoulders of the captain. And I think we have to talk a bit about that matchup as well. The Khalid has been hailed as one of the best picks right now. It has everything you wanna have on an EXP later. Good roaming, good wave clear, good engage, as well as ultimate potential as well, technically, with the healing that he has, right? With damage reduction as well. I believe it's like 30%. And you saw Psycho's having a lot of pressure there, but so did Veldora. And you can see that the moment Geek Fam were able to maximize the Thamus, that's where they were actually able to get a lot more control over the neutral objective. So now, it's almost like Geek Fam has an answer for it. Does Evos want to double down and go for that same pick that was so valuable for them?
Talking about value. It's super value if you guys get yourselves a Samsung. You know, whichever shape or form. I think she's holding the Z Flip?
Yep.
Yeah, the Z Flip. That's the one I want. And because of that, she can actually sit in the Galaxy Zone with, you know, all the pro players that are watching, the brand ambassadors, the talents for all these teams. And she's also able to sit with people with really good hair. Hair cam by Head and Shoulders.
Chefin? You in the building eyeing out for the Head and Shoulders hair cam?
Put it in the chat if you see Chefin on the camera, because he's in here somewhere. But yes, that is the Gatot Kacha lemon flavor Head and Shoulder, man.
Flavor.
Yes.
Flavor.
Hashtag Gani.
To taste.
Udah lah Eposss lah, nyerah aja nggak sih Suren?
Favian Flavor Fave.
Pengen main game aja, main sendiri aja guys. Pengen lihat victory itu.
Interesting.
Maybe that's why his name is Gani.
Guys, udah nonton kesana guys. Kalau kita nonton ke venue, ya guys ya.
Quite making the connection there.
Me
Kalau kita nonton ke venue
And
guys.
I'm not gonna explain.
Okay, it's advanced.
Kalau kita nonton ke venue,
Connections here for Miracle.
selalu berharap tim kita yang kita dukung itu menang guys. Karena apa sih bang? Karena apa sih bang? Karena kalau menang itu kemungkinan kita dapat fotonya lebih tinggi. Gue pengalaman gue sendiri guys. Gue nonton pas Onyx lawan RRQ, pengen vote sama anak-anak RRQ. Langsung balik cuy, langsung balik cepet cuy. Langsung masuk mobil.
Immediately going for like a holy crystal. So the glowing wand definitely was quite interesting.
Why did you think he went for glowing wand? He was in a 1v1 lane against Natan.
Mathilda. I really think it's just because of the Mathilda. I think really though.
That was glowing wand's second item, right?
Yeah, that's why it's already different to what Aaron Shiki builds. I think what is Aaron Shiki build after Claw? I think it's Wishing Lantern. No? He actually goes for like a really weird build. He goes for Clock of Destiny. I believe it's Wishing Lantern and then Winter Crown.
So it's already completely different.
Starlium?
Oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, go Starlium.
Sorry, Clock of Destiny, Starlium, and then Winter Crown, and then Wishing Lantern.
I believe that's correct. And if it's not a Wishing Lantern, it's something else to augment the damage. But for now, let's take a look at the audience top voting here.
Let's see. How can Evos bounce back in game number 2? According to you guys, 38% set up objectives for Annabelle. Okay, number 2, avoid overcommitting. Number 3, improve late game execution. Okay, let's talk about this first. Set up objectives for Annabelle. He was on the Hayabusa earlier on. Do you think that was a factor? The lack of setup for objectives for Annabelle?
I feel like on the Hayabusa, he has a great chance still of getting the retreat, and he did get, I think, at least one massive steal there.
Yeah.
He won the second turtle, I think.
in the first game.
With under 1 level.
Yep.
Exactly. So I
and
think
Psychot's got one too.
Oh right,
First
yeah.
one.
So, but to be fair, again, he just went in there and went for the immediate play. There wasn't really a lot of zoning, a lot of control from his team to really get him that space. Now, in theory, the assassins don't really need as much space as something like a fighter, but again, that might be the approach they want to switch out, right? We talked about earlier, punishing Geek Fam when they are really all in committed to the Lord has been a quite effective strategy, I would say, even for Evos in game number 1 right there. So now they're still going to be first pick, turns out. So let's see, man, what's the idea here? Do they want to go even more aggressive? Do they
Let's
wanna
go
match
Brans. Udah bagus banget tadi
the
Brans.
making potential, or is it a change
Memang
in
gak cocok aja sih Brans main
in the
selain
jungle
MM,
as
guys.
well? Do they really want to try and
Oh,
deny
gila
all
ini win
these
rate Eposss,
fighters
guys.
for good
50-52
this time
guys.
for Vincent?
I don't know. I think
GG.
Evos on first pick will also have better control over the picks, right? So maybe the Matilda
GG,
is something
guys.
they want to ban out
Gigimu.
or pick up for themselves.
I honestly think the Phobius
Biasanya Mas Caldera.
shouldn't be the issue, right? The Matilda is what makes the Phobius an issue.
Ngerti
So you
siapa
bring
sih
up
Mas Caldera
Matilda,
itu?
yeah, leave the Phobius open, especially if you want to go
siapa,
Khalid and Vexana. Those are the two picks that you would actually utilize to try to beat the Phobius anyways when he overcommits, pops into the Infernal Pursuit a bit too far away from the team.
I think that's fair. I mean, in recent times, it really feels like the Phobius can do a lot of damage, can be annoying if you let him be annoying, right? When you disengage and leave him behind, he's quite immobile, you know? Like, even the range on that Infernal Pursuit has been lowered significantly. So in a way, it's almost like he's just another Thamus. And if that's the case, if he operates the same way like a Thamus, why ban him, right? You can even match him if you really want to. But Evos disagree, man. Coach Age says,
Lagi.
you guys don't see the vision. You don't see the danger that I see.
It will be banned out first,
What's
up
up, danger?
and foremost for the second game, ladies and gentlemen, as we get
Oh,
into the
no
draft phase
fee.
presented by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S24 series. Now, Evos in the first game, they were able to ban the Hellcurt in the first place. So I don't know, is that the change that they're going for, or are they gonna go for the same bans? Because for Geek, it's exactly the same. Ling and Nolan.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Geek Fam finally utilizing the utility jungles, and it worked out. Maybe a bit rusty, Vincent there. You know, he has been playing a lot of the assassins, so maybe he has to just adjust back to the utility jungle. But he played the alpha. There you go. Guys, this is the first time since Geek Fam's first game in MPL that the Hellcurt's been left open. Poloiski's Hellcurt has been left open. Mr. War Crime General might be able to pull off another war crime on that Hellcurt. And it is the Khalid first pick. Same plan. Oh, man.
Okay,
Banget.
is it gonna be worth it? The Khalid for
Dapat hari
the
lagi, cuy.
notorious Hellcurt in the hands of Beloyski.
Terus
Let's see if
apa
Geek
itu
even
juga
goes for it. They
kayak
can kind of save it
bloknya
for the
Papi
third
dulu.
pick if they really want to right here,
Udah
right?
beli
Hide it a bit longer. Because there's no way Evos pick it up for jungle or roam.
Oh, man. I wonder if he's practiced the Hellcurt, right? It's been banned away so much. He hasn't seen any Hellcurt games in Season 14 except for that first game against Alter Ego. Man, Evos are playing a gamble. No one, not even RQ and Liquid, have left the Hellcurt open. It will be the Alpha still for Geek Fam, so still sticking on utility and the Valentina. That might be the last pick, Hellcurt, in the first phase.
Do you think they're gonna go for it? It's
I
not
don't
just
know.
like a mind game?
I don't know, man. If it's Beloy, you never know what you're gonna get. He's like a box of chocolates.
I mean, the Hellcurt would have an advantage if you go against heroes that are like a lot less tanky, right? But if they go for a composition where, let's say, they put Ruby in the gold lane, does it still have value, the Hellcurt roam?
I think it can still be annoying. That's the main point here for Beloy. The fact that he can kind of do a lot of damage, do a lot of utility, and stay on the map indefinitely. I think Beloy really shines when he can have all the time in the world to set up, to rotate, to find info, which is why he's so dangerous on the chip, and technically for the Hellcurt as well, because if he stays on the map unseen, he regains HP. And for Evos, they're doubling down here. They want to go for that big combo. And the Hellcurt, ladies and gentlemen, it's happening.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. I mean, with letting the Hellcurt go and banning out the Matilda, Evos must have a way or an idea of how to counter this Hellcurt, right? Do we see that counter in the first 3 picks for Evos right now?
Lebih takut Matilda dibandingkan
I mean, the Tiger technique can be a problem for him.
Hype-nya
He
itu
can be
good
more
for
vulnerable to
Balonya
getting
doang.
picked off with all that CC.
Misalnya Matilda
But again, at the
itu
same
bahaya
time,
buat
if he
fight.
comes in from the back, you know, comes in with a flank onto
Jangan di tim
onto
saya itu
Kloppen,
Eposss
even for
lebih
instance
kuat.
here, he's gonna be out of the fight immediately. And this is before talking about the potential to just turn off the lights in the land of Dawn, man. Against a team like Geek Fam, that disorientation can be lethal.
Hadirnya
Man, it just feels surreal that he actually gets the Hellcurt. I thought we would never see this pick ever again.
What's your command?
It's a fanny ban. It is a full shutdown on Anavel. They say if we can't go assassin, you can't either, Annabelle. You play our game, go on that Bane.
Ano itu?
But actually the Bane would be pretty good against the Hellcurt Alpha.
Interesting there. Do you wonder what the option is for Annabelle? With the Alpha taken out as well, the aggressive picks are kind of getting whittled down, but Annabelle, again, big hero pool. There's chances for him to just bring out a less meta hero technically. But I think they want to try and ban more things that can maybe secure kills, because with the Hellcurt in the picture, there's going to be a lot of harassment already. You know, it's weird to talk about Hellcurt as a hero with poke damage, but in the roam department, he can very easily come in, hit you with those stingers, and just bail out.
So the question is, what do Evos want to do now? They ban out the Edith, makes sense. Oh no, and the 1-1 comes out.
Yeah.
Gila,
No
guys,
Hayabusa, no Fanny, no Ling, no Nolan.
What about
1-1.
Julian? I mean,
Not a threat to the 1-1, not as big of a threat.
okay.
So I would say if they really want to try to go all in, maybe the Lancelot, Annabelle, you want to bring it out? Kyrie brought it out. And against the 1-1, is it time for us to see brands on an Irithel? Safe choice would be Claude or Moskov, even two heroes with blinks. You can just like evade from the 1-1, but if you want to go and bully the 1-1, Clint / Irithel, those are the two counters. But I don't think you want to go Clint against a Hellcurt.
Exactly. A bit too risky. But even with the Irithel, it doesn't guarantee that you're safe from all that burst damage too. Maybe they want to go for something a bit more aggressive here, just to ensure that the lack of frontline from Beloyski can be abused. The Harris and the Julian.
Ooh, wait. This is a lot of magic damage, Evos.
Maybe
Their only physical damage is in the Khalid.
exactly. Not
And he builds
ideal.
tank. He's a tank.
That's true.
Exactly.
So,
I guess they're relying on the true damage for the most part, but this is a very,
Tigreal.
I don't know, straightforward composition from Evos here.
damage.
Physical damage, Tigreal.
Full attack speed crit, Tigreal. Definitely an interesting one.
That'll be interesting to
How
see if
does-
it actually works.
How does Geek close this out though? Who are they going to put in the EXP lane?
Maybe something beefy here, considering that, again, Beloyski can't really help. Something they can scout out. Oh, Charizla. Interesting. I guess they want to match Khalid's pressure. You would think that maybe other heroes can rise and fill in those shoes. But I guess good old Charizla can't go wrong with it.
What do you think about the Harith against the 1-1?
Guys, lagi nih.
Harith against the 1-1. I feel like it's going to be a bit difficult for the Harith because technically you rely on the fission collision there to try and do the bulk of your damage. Against a 1-1, a good 1-1, it's going to be so hard to land those.
And this is Chidera on the 1-1.
Yeah, I was about to say that as well. Game 1, interesting, you know, ban, but it makes sense. You don't want to go 1-1 when you're up against a Haya. This game, though, I feel like Chidera will show off what he's got.
He's going to pop off on that 1-1. You have to wait and see.
We shall. Let's see whether Geek can actually close this out 2-0, clean sweep against the White Tigers. The White Tigers, I'm pretty sure they want to go out with a bang. So, ladies and gentlemen, with that being said, let's welcome you back
Enggak,
to
Evos
the
tunjukkan
land of
taringnya,
Dawn
Cina.
for the
Katanya
second
terna.
game in this best-of-3 series.
The final match for Evos Glory and also the final match of Geek Fam this season. One will go to playoffs, the other will not, but at least for Evos, they can try to end the season with a high note, but it is Vincent on the utility jungle. And Evos, Annabelle was denied of all his picks.
Branjet di sana ada Baloy, malah Baloynya yang ternyata kekurangan dana sangat banyak guys. Cukup berani guys ini guys.
Dreams is going to be most likely
Eposss
forced to
di sini.
stay around the gold lane just in case
Eposss
tries to make
di
something happen.
sini.
So the early game threat from the Tigreal is kind of mitigated almost immediately.
I'm still wondering why they opted to go for this Harith pick. Is it because of the shielding? Is it less vulnerable compared to other... Oh, wait a second. If we're talking about vulnerability, I mean, that's still a lot of damage that Beloyski can have onto Brands despite him being on the Harith.
Guys, tutupin map gak sih?
Goodness, Beloyski!
Yellow guys, Baloy guys, menunjukkan taringnya guys.
Hellcurt just walking up, and even if this is a trade, which it is,
diganti sama Cloud
it's
pun.
worth it to Geek
Oke
Fam.
nggak tuh?
Chidera gets the gold.
Pertukarannya
Brands is
gitu.
down, no Purify, and he's dead.
I mean, credit to Beloyski, but Brands, what were you thinking? No Purify, even going for the tenacity right here. He respects the Hellcurt and he went for the defense and the shielding. In theory, could keep him alive longer. But man, that's just too much damage coming in from Beloyski. Oh!
Spear of Alpha coming down. Dreams unable to sustain 2 early kills for Geek Fam. And the only kill Evos got is on Beloy.
I guess this is a really good reminder to all the teams out there. There's a reason why this Hellcurt is banned out, and we're seeing exactly that. Even Veldora can go in very aggressively, understanding that Beloyski is there to fish out information too, and this neutral objective should go for Geek.
Nice, boy.
Now, showing them back
Nice, boy.
Psychop the Raging Sandstorm into the
Psychos. Tapi dibalas sama Aboy, gila bagus banget Aboy ya.
Still, those Psychots will be able to get the kill down. Geek Fam with a turtle and now
di ulti baik pakai.
No, Geek Fam can't do it. Can't dive, right? No.
Not without any help, but look at this.
Ooh, almost a Spear of Alpha if Dreams didn't slide away.
Man, the aggression from Geek Fam right here. You have to remember, even the
nablas
potential we're talking about earlier isn't shown just yet. This is just Geek Fam's early aggression with the Alpha. And we talked about the Alpha Mathilda. Man, the Alpha Hellcurt, that's a very terrifying combo, dude. Looking at the stats, of course, Beloyski 1 win, 0 losses on the Hellcurt. As Vincent, it's a bit of a mistake. But by the way, earlier in the emblems, Chadera went for the pull yourself together, so more increased cooldown reduction onto the battle spell. So technically, it's a defensive spell usually, but it's used aggressively here, considering that he's running that Inspire.
Interesting. Audience prediction as well by GoPay sees that Geek Fam, heavy favor. Oh no, Beloyski again, what?
We're really putting the pressure down, man. This is why you don't give Beloyski the Hellcurt. What a beast.
Oh, he's at it again.
This time should be
guys, di all in tuh Baloy cuy. Di all in guys.
Look at the other side.
Kayak ke Baloy katanya. Bisa lihat di sana. Apa cuy? Nice, Annabelle. Iya cuy. Malah mati Cloud pun guys. Nice banget di situ guys, kombonya masuk. Sangat baik.
Moving back and Evos actually winning on the
trade.
Yeah, that's 2-for-1 trade, and Annabelle is still able to get his hands on the purple buff. So despite the BBB, it looks like Evos are still picking up where they left off.
That's the combo that Evos are doubling down on. They saw that earlier when they were able to get that ideal Dream engage. Geek Fam can't do much. And now technically it's the same idea. The only real concern they have right here, if they want to go for a massive combo, is a boy purifying out of it and then countering with a big implosion of his own. Anything short of that, and I think Evos can really win out almost any fight. Even Chidera, technically immune to crowd control. If everything gets stacked up and layered perfectly, it's definitely going to be a concern. But with the Heptases built up by Beloyski, you have to wonder if Evos can even get to those team fights unscathed.
However, at the moment, Annabelle is a level above of Vincent, and we saw what Annabelle was able to do under Vincent.
Penalty zone, but it's off the clock now. Raging Sandstorm coming down to the back line, but Annabelle
boleh guys.
Veldora just a bit of Dreams will be caught by the Spear of Alpha. Annabelle dishing out some damage back onto Vincent now with enhanced sight as well. Vincent taking a very close slice down by Annabelle.
Akankah mati? Kill 2? Tidak keburu guys. Apa itu guys? Apa satu hit? Kelo? What? Kills! Dah setetes gak ada yang nafsu tuh. Apaan sih?
The picks onto 3 at that
terus status beneran gak ada yang nafsu ke mana kali? Apakah masih underage?
It's unfortunately a stark contrast to the performance that we're seeing from Vincent right now.
Dude, we said that maybe Evos forgot the terror.
Tiup juga mati guys.
Geek Fam must have forgot that Annabelle is an absolute monster. What was that outplay, dude? The fact that he was able to get out and time the revenge track.
Ini bagus nih Annabelle guys. Setnya dapat.
So well, get out and still get a kill afterwards. Man, he's making this Julian look like a solid pick, even though technically it hasn't been too meta.
I agree. I mean, that's not something you see quite often when he goes there again.
Digas aja langsung guys. Mati guys. Dan
all the way. There was still one more, but it is going to be Chidera surviving with just a bit.
Chidera masih miss kedua ya.
Psychots gets out, and now it's a turret down below.
Segitu ya?
What is going
Dia
on right here,
maju-maju
Geek
ulti
Fam?
buat kabur cuy,
Seemingly
nggak
losing
ketangkep.
control, losing focus. Psychot still has to try and defend the turret, but so far,
Kabur dia.
I think Geek Fam's
Ada
pressure
apa
is
dia
just too
takut.
much. Trades across the map for both teams. And again, it's all about waiting for the next big, massive clash as Beloyski. Okay, gets out.
He does. Oh, wait, Annabelle goes back in?
And the employers
Gelo
of
guys,
Vincent
Vincentnya langsung guys di all
And the
in.
turtle will be spawning in 1 second. Evos Glory have a 1.2k
Johan,
gold
Vincent,
lead.
guys.
And
Jumawa
they're
ka?
going to get the turtle for free. Brands will clear
Jumawa
out the
tamat
wave in the mid lane easily with Psychots. Hellkurt bottom lane to try to get a trade.
Dua.
This is
Dua.
not a good day for Vincent. We saw him
Kenapa?
on cam earlier on. He wasn't looking too hot. And then we saw the caster POV.
Hey
And
man, that
now,
was on Assassins, man.
2 back-to-back games, he has been targeted down so hard by the White Tigers. He's 2-3-0 right now.
Now looking at the hero power comparison right here between the Khalid and the Terizla, it's like the Terizla and the cooler Terizla at this point, but the early game win rate actually still favors the Terizla, and so does the late game win rate. And you have to remember that the Terizla looks worse right now due to the early game damage reduction nerfs and the increased cooldown on his spells, but in the late game, that damage reduction, the body of Smith, actually is increased by 5%. So technically, in the right circumstances, it can still be a very solid pick if you need more sustain. But look at this.
Wow, Dreams. How Chidera used the second skill way too early there, and he timed it well. I really wonder what happened.
Panik lah
Because he has
keadaannya
a
guys
built-in
pakai skill
Purify.
2-nya.
That should not have happened.
I think he walked into the bush and got completely jumped on by the side of Evos. Even with the Hellkurt, it seems like Evos are still able to match the pressure, right? And get control around the map and get pickouts of their own. It's a rare scene to see against Beloyski's Hellkurt, but not Vincent. Always forced to use the Spear of Alpha backwards again and again.
Always targeted, always taken down. I think he's, there you go, forcing a recall. He can't defend this.
Geli bos
Already
katanya bos.
Sandstorm.
Whoa.
Just as a zoning tool.
Geli bos.
I mean, Evos, they're playing it so clean in the second game.
Yeah, Geek Fam, they're feeling like Anakin Skywalker right now. They don't like sand.
Well, I mean, look at the items right here, though. Heptaseeds and Great Dragon Spear for Beloyski. Technically a get-out-of-jail-free card if he pops the darkness and just runs off. So another way for Beloyski to be annoying, but Annabelle with Divine Glaive is going to function more and more like an assassin and going to be able to actually shred down this Lord a lot more reliably, forcing Geek Fam. It's just a
Gelo.
shuffle. What?
That's the
Tiga sama
tank, that's the
Dreams.
main frontliner of Geek Fam. He got melted down, but those are some big resources that
Momen
they've used
sana.
up. A boy now.
Mau digas guys masih nih.
John, it has chain. Oh,
Tuh.
the Purify already used up as
Tuh.
well. No Purify. That means Evos can actually go for it, but look at Hellkurt, look at Beloy. Dreams again able to find the
Apa itu, guys?
explosion, and they bank on the fact that they can punish
Vincentnya
Vincent.
dapat lagi,
Oh,
tapi
no.
balonya di atas guys.
Should be free
Membuat
for Evos
huru
to
hara,
take. Now they
cuy.
burn everything.
Rotasi flanking ke arah
Gonna
bawah
stay on it
sana.
right here. Dreams conceals
Navel
once more,
masih
but look at
terlalu lambat
Beloyski.
ini.
And a
Didapatkan
follow
oleh
to secure
Navel.
it. Dora trying to go
Dorong
down,
saja.
Beloyski into the back, finding Clock. No! He
Oh,
doesn't
nggak mati
get
cuy.
it!
What?
Or if that was the lethal ignition, he would
Kok
have went
bisa?
to the war cry, and Clock survives with one.
Yang bagus tuh sini guys.
He was able to regen in the final moment, and
Baloynya?
that actually allowed him to continue that walk back home. And unfortunately, again, like you mentioned, it's Geek falling behind. Vincent was taken down earlier on. They don't get the neutral objective. There was a trade in the top side, and it looks like the Hellkurt, Beloyski is still looking for those trades. But Evos are going to be pushing with this Lord.
It's the macro
Ayo beli dan
split
apaan?
which
Tiket
Geek
MPL
Fam
ID
is just
ada nih,
known for, especially with Beloyski
Tiket MPL masih ada
initiating
nih,
it.
guys, kayaknya.
But a bit of a same
Tiket
problem
playoff.
from game number 1. Chidera on the
Ini
one
sayang
that should have so
lagi-lagi.
much potential really isn't shining on it. I don't think we've even seen him pop up on
Yang Dewa
Inspire and make a big play or even a crossbow tag.
Oh, Dora with the penalty
Orang
zone,
berarti nggak
trying to
mikirin
zone the
ini
way.
ya,
Now it's
gantiin.
Eternal Guard. No penalty zone
Gue
to play
masih
with,
dulu
and
deh,
Dora
day 1,
will
day
be
2 siapa
slashed
ngawas
down
ke
by the Eternal
game
Guard.
final gitu.
Brands
Baru beli tiket game
doing
final.
all of the damage. Beloyski gets read
Berarti
out by
nonton siapa
Psychots.
aja
He's
yang
gonna
ini
have
ya?
to blink out of there.
Siapapun yang masuk grand final ditonton.
4,000
Yang beli tiket awal-awal nih guys, beli tiket final.
Gonna be even more sustainable in those 1v1s. Evos increasing the
Gue misalnya
goal
Evos
lead and
lolos
suffocating Geek Fam.
playoff kan
Even
gue
with the pressure
pengen
of
tahu
the
dulu ya,
Hellkurt, they're just
dia
getting a lot of
bakal
value
jauh
out of
nggak
it.
nih
Now with the
perjalanannya.
Winter Crowns
Baru
coming
gue beliin
through,
tiket grand
you
final.
wonder what's the idea for
Nah, kok kayak
Evos.
gini
And
misalnya
they're gonna wait for
tim
one more lure
yang dia
potentially,
suka
and they're
nggak
playing it
lolos,
patient. And with
apakah
Dreams
bakal
is
dijual
standing in the
atau
front with
bakal
a limited
itu?
amount of purifiers available for the side of Geek Fam, Evos can really have a lot more pressure a lot more danger when it comes to
No,
the
kill,
surprise
guys,
attacks from the bush, even though in theory,
Oh, sama
against
Dreams
Geek
3
Fam's
skillnya
feared,
guys.
Geek Fam's sphere
Since the
Hellcat on
Hellcat defense, Baloy has
you know,
become the player
they
who
really weren't
use
Hellcat
expecting this to be the case.
the
In
most.
fact, by our
And
new
MPL ID
application GoPay, since the Hellcat
Dengan
revamp,
6
Baloyski has
pick
become the
dan
player who
juga
used the Hellcat the most. And MPL ID was 6
83%
picks
win
and an
rate di sana ya.
83.3% win rate. I mean, right now, Evos
Kalahnya
are
sama Evos tuh,
doing a
guys.
good job of controlling that. But what I did notice earlier on, Baloyski, Windtalker, Hellcat, is that a normal item for a Hellcat?
Consider that he's split pushing, it can be a great way to like
Kawan sih.
increase his weight
Uh,
here and
uh.
taking potential.
Guys!
Sidepods though, really matching him down, but look at the bottom side. Still, when it comes to the macro presence, Geek Fam have a lot more ways to kind of be
GPS gak sih guys di
because
Hellcat
Evos,
guys?
they have a combo
Kali
composition,
harusnya.
they have to stick together, and that is exactly what Geek Fam are trying to abuse as much as possible, because there's no way the plan is to just walk into Evos and see if you can outdo Dreams and Clockern and Psychots in that big combo play.
They haven't been able to either, right?
No.
So, Psychots, though, you can see that he is trying to alleviate that pressure Baloyski is putting onto him. And technically, Psychots, did he go build physical attack instead of defense?
Lalu
Psychots, I don't
What
think...
was his build?
Oh wow, he is
Right?
going full damage. Wow.
He's going to see Halbert, have to see his end with the crown, but whoa, look
gas
at
guys
this.
karena ultinya
That's why he's been able to
Dapat, sayang
match
sekali.
Baloyski in his side lane.
Membuang ulti.
Interesting
siapa,
build
guys?
here with the lethal ignition too. Geek Fam holding on to the Lord though.
Ulti siapa ya?
No, Vincent has the Queen's Wings with more damage reduction
Cepet,
potentially,
guys.
but
Mau nggak
Brands
mau,
with the Holy
cepetnya
Crystal,
harus.
that's a massive power spike.
Main
But
lane
can
jauh
he get
juga.
close enough? He does have to
Biar
purify for the
imbangin.
next big fight. And you can see, wow, Psycho's actually outdoing Baloyski when it comes to,
Balas
you know, the
paling
side
Psycho
push kind of pressure.
Imbangin
That's
mo
the
din
matchup,
Psychots.
right? Assassins against a fighter, but look at Dreams.
Look at Psychots though, in the back as well. Dreams going in for the implosion on the Vincent, he goes. He's trying to go going down right now. Psychots goes in for the flash with the lethal ignition, doing a lot of damage.
Sebelah aku udah menghadang guys, tapi malah mati. Ini sayang sekali. Pinter, tetap harus mati tangan Aboy. Yang Baloyski menunggu di belakang, lawan sama Anaf, aku bisa tahu ya. Orang mati sih dari Evos cuy. Psychot guys, tanki-tankinya pada mati semua ini. Cukup ya, cukup tangguh untuk dapetin lo. Langsung harus naik tangan ini. Baloy, aduh, pula Bransnya. Kurang banget ini Bransnya gue liat-liat. Sung. Tata guys. Aku tadi pengen kayak gini tapi nggak berhasil guys.
That's a wiped out, ladies and gentlemen. The White Tigers have been taken down.
muncul.
And it looks like
Langsung
Geek
ultimate.
will continue to press the issue.
One cannon minion. I don't think Geek Fam can do it, but they will be able to buy a lot of time.
And they have equalized on the gold disparity. They won that fight at almost a 4,000 gold deficit, man. Geek Fam able to find the moments, find the weird plays. There was a flank from Evos, but then it was immediately matched by a flank from Geek Fam. They're just so good at doing it. And now with the Lord cleared out, it's back to square one. And you have to look at the map. Even without the Lord, the base card was taken out by Geek Fam. So now when it's back to square one, when it's back to this waiting game, I think you can't argue that Geek Fam has the advantage.
And he was so patient about it too. He was waiting for that proper moment. He was lurking in the bush. You could see that he was very calm about it. He didn't go in for a rush maneuver. That's Triple B. Oh man, you can never count Geek Fam out despite them not being in a favorable situation.
Even if Baloy dies 8 times, you can't count him out, man.
Nope.
That's just BBB right there. He has his own way of playing MLBB.
So this is an anomaly then. 6-2-1 Baloyski on the Hellcat.
On the Hellcat, it's pretty normal.
Okay.
This is actually lower than what he used to use. You know, back in the Hellcat meta, he used to go 11-0 or something.
That's true.
He used to hard carry.
Downward.
Even now, he's going with the Berserker's Fury right after the Windtalker. So in the 1v1s, slowly but surely, as long as he can survive the initial burst from Psychots, even Psychots himself, in theory, shouldn't be able to 1v1. But look at those recalls, man. You better get it yourself and try and use it in-game while it's still fresh. And look at this, man. Geek Fam. Chadera walking in alone like that. Risky play, but I guess with the wave on the bottom side, he thinks it's safe enough.
Dreams? Okay. Dreams able to buy the immortality in time. A boy actually trying to block it. Oh, Chadera with the steal. Annabelle doesn't want to use that red tree.
guys.
Okay.
It's a bit too valuable, especially with the next potential objectives, the purple buffs here, I think still going to be taken by Annabelle. With 25 seconds to go, I think that side lane matchup becomes so much more important here. Sycuts and Beloyski in a never-ending duel. Whereas for Evos, I feel like now, because of how they've been flanked twice already and kind of having Clockun deleted, I feel like they're playing it a lot safer now. They were confidently pushing out earlier into the jungles of Geek Fam, but now because of that, look at how closely they're moving around together. That kind of sets them up for a big engage coming in from Vildora or Vincent, by the way, so Evos themselves have to be very careful here.
Annabelle picks up the Holy Crystal here, so doubling down on that damage. That 1v1 is still happening in the top lane between Beloyski as well as Sycuts. It's actually forcing Beloyski back. But again, Dreams looks for this concealed play, exactly.
I don't think they can do anything. They go in onto the back. Whoa!
Gila, digas.
Penalty's gonna cancel it out right now. The crossbow attack from Tadera. And now the reinitiation plans. Still jumping back and forth. Come on for top play. Beloyski. Meanwhile,
Dicatat serang Beloyski, double kill dari Brans. Gila. Bawah tuh lihat.
Everyone else had been taken down. That was a 4-4-2.
Cuek aja guys ya. Gak ada speed ya, balonnya udah mati guys. Ini bisa end gak sih guys?
Gonna try and go for
Kayak
an
teori guys.
maybe because Evos, they're ignoring the wave on the bottom side. Now finally sending Clockun back. They want to go for an end.
Harus mati,
can he do it
harus balik ke
1v2?
dia.
It's a 1-1 and a lot of outplay potential.
Lihat di sini tidak bisa menggunakan WON untuk tahan. Tapi Kadera mencoba gas balik dan juga berhasil setelah sekarang untuk bisa maksain tuh. Ingat kata Kaleb ya, bisa enggak, bisa enggak. Objektifnya apa? Bisa enggak? Gak bisa, kenapa nggak balik? Kaleb tuh, ingat baik-baik ya. Dugaan gue guys.
Wow, what a chain of events. Tadera still able to clear out that lane in a 1v3 situation, still able to survive. But the question is, survive for how long? Evos being able to blitz that will hold on to the Lord. What can we expect happen in the next few minutes, Arashi?
Evos might just set up the waves initially and then escort the Lord to try and force a fight. The issue right here is that Beloyski can be so annoying because there's no pressure coming in from the lanes, right? But now with the Lords pushing up, Beloyski, once again, big brain plays. But Evos won't be there on the receiving end. They're gonna try and make a play initial, I think, theoretically with this Lord.
Wah, Dreams. Ranking yang sangat baik seperti biasa. Kawan. Sangat minion bawah. Saya bisa push sama si Baloy yang coba putar di sana. Baloy dari belakang. Disuruh untuk cut. Bukinya dipakai Baloy. Gimana? Ini lagi ini guys, kita ke Baloy ya. Udah efek gelap gitu. Baloy mepet guys.
Where Geek Fam has a chance to just be unpredictable. I mean, Evos has the advantage right here, but it really feels so tense for them.
You can even see Sycuts overthinking. You can see it with the way that he's maneuvering in the minimap. We don't necessarily see him on screen, but you can see Sycuts is always very wary and cautious as to the whereabouts of Beloyski earlier on. I don't know if he was just recalling randomly or he was anticipating maybe is Beloyski looking for a backdoor, and then later on he couldn't help push in the waves because he was still looking for the position of Beloyski that could still possibly look for a backdoor in the team fight. So it is causing Evos to overthink quite a bit. And that's something that Geek Fam can use to their advantage.
And Evos really seems to be trying to have a more reactive mindset. They haven't really been able to force a lot of fights. Even when they saw Beloyski clearing the waves and the waves pushing in favor of their side, they haven't been able to actually go in and try and go for a big engage, a big catch. The same way we saw earlier when we talked about the fact that only one Purify is available for the side of Geek Fam. If you look at the items now, Beloyski actually has the highest gold discrepancy, but that's because he's farming as a roamer.
Yep.
Grants picks up the Winter Crown to try and get some more outplay potential right here, but for the most part, it's only about minute swaps in the items. And even earlier, I think Vincent went and switched out his, he switched something out for the Athena shield. So with the Radiant armor, he wants the Athena shield on top of that, because he recognizes that it's almost a full magic defense, magic damage composition, but that's where Sycuts comes in. That's, I guess, why he's going for a bit more damage in his build.
just to make sure that the damage
bikin full
output
damage karena
isn't
musuhnya
one-dimensional.
udah
But
kemungkinan
again,
besar
going back
bikin
to this,
magic
this is
resistnya
where
lebih banyak
Baloyski
ya karena ada 3
shines.
core.
Jumping into the back with
Dua
no zone as
kan
well,
masih
but now
magic
it's a
damage.
mind force used up as well with the winner crown. Baloyski, well timed. It is going to be the kill onto Dreams and Brand. Psychos with the flank, but unable to find anything. Now it's a 3v5 situation, and Geek Fam, I think they've won it out, but they have used 2 resources, 2 big ultimates. Let's see what Evos can do.
Psychots, I don't think is he recalling for sure here? I thought he was gonna
Kenapa
go
nggak
for a
mungkin
steal.
maju lagi ya temen jadi nggak maju guys.
3v1, they
Karena
don't
nggak
look for
teman.
anything risky. Baloyski is still lurking around there. Always making Evos think twice about what they have to do.
I mean, with the death timers being so long, it might be a bit too risky. So Evos, they're banking on just waiting and going for a big fight. And we have to realize as well, when Geek Fam are fighting in the base of Evos, that's where these weird angles, these weird surprise plays from Baloyski can't really get executed. So technically, it's a great idea from Evos, but we have to see how well they can defend. Because right now, it's the 4th Lord coming in right here. So Geek Fam are going to have a lot more of an advantage, unless, of course, Evos can leverage all that crowd control to try and make something really work out for them. Especially with Annabelle, he's been able to do a lot of damage, but now that Geek Fam also has damage, he's kind of struggling to really stay alive, stay as dangerous as he is in the previous fights.
This might be the final game for Evos. For MPL ID Season 14.
Turn card unable to connect on the Chadera.
Woi, belum join. Sana saya akan dapat 2 orang.
But he's still able to kite away with a void. Very low in the back line. It's actually going to be Vincent locked down as
Dulu
well.
saya skill 2 dulu baru ini guys. Skill 2 dulu baru Winter. Oh, bagus juga ya itu ya.
The mythical creature.
Mantep ya. Gua nggak kepikiran guys.
Turrets, but these inhibitor turrets stand strong again.
Iya nambah
First
darahnya
game
cuy.
it was 17 minutes, very
Gokil.
back and forth between both of these teams. And now coming into game number 2, it looks like we're getting the exact same, but it's getting a little longer. 23 minutes, almost that 24th minute. Baloyski is still looking for a big brain play. Still possible to turn things around right now. As Psychot's Malefic Roar, by the way.
Ooh, Annabelle just rushing in with a conceal.
Oh, does he want to go for it? Oh, he goes for the stinger. He jumps away, tries to bait out some stuff. Dreams actually. Oh, not using it just yet. Brand's walking up. That's immortality buy, but he's gonna lose immortality to Nero.
Tiba-tiba guys mati Bransnya cuy. Dan lane mid-nya juga masih ada minion guys dijagain cuy. Kalau ini dijagain lebih sudah clear gelo. Mantap sekali tiba-tiba bentang guys. What the fuck?
Final match. They won't go down without a fight.
The mythical
Jadi bangun lagi
creature
apa tuh mata tuh?
again,
Oh tuh Brans.
hosting a game number 3 from
Gestur
the
apa tuh muka
Geeks.
tadi?
With nothing to lose, this is the Evos that we were expecting to see
Evos
today.
mode
They're having
farming.
fun, and
Biar
they're
tidak
putting a
bangkrut.
Geek
Tos.
in a run for their money.
Ini Cloud pun udah mendapatkan semangat dari
Wow, dude,
Psychots
that
guys.
final
Jadi Psychots doang yang bangun dan menghampiri teman-teman yang lain untuk tos-tosan. Sekarang Cloud pun juga lagi euforia ya. Mungkin karena dia ikut berkontribusi dalam endgame gameplay ini.
It was like 30 more seconds until the members of Geek Fam were up technically, and that kind of window. is
Just
exactly
fun
what
main
Evos were
sekali
waiting
doang,
on.
kalah pula.
They played it safe, they played for the base defense, and it has worked out in their favor.
Lalu gini guys.
Man, even with the full magic,
Bangun lah
the
dari
Radiant Armor
udahan
and
oke
Athena, we were
sepertinya.
talking about how they could just itemize for the magic damage. Turns
Semangat.
out, you can't. That was Radiant
Bang
and
tadi kalian
Athena,
2-0 aja. Iya
Annabelle
guys, gue udah
said,
ngantuk banget.
"What defense?"
Daripada sakit hati ntar
That was
game
crazy
ketiganya
damage.
kalah.
It's a lot of damage. It's also a lot of
Di
damage
sini
coming in
sih
from
langsung,
Brands.
Yeah.
And this
And
play,
Set.
it just
Bakalan
looks
jagain.
so.
Mereka semua pure ngejagain
sharing
minion
here, 'cause
satu
Geek
gerobak
Fam
itu guys.
were playing so
Jagain semua,
in
guys.
sync the whole
Iya,
time, and
ya.
this one moment there,
Tuh,
I guess
Brandnya
they were
harus
forced
mati
to
dia
go
sampai
for it.
buka.
There were still 10 seconds left on Vildora and Vincent. If they didn't go for a risky
Baru nasi
play,
gitu ya.
for something sneaky, there's no chance they were able to come out on top right there.
Wow.
I think the
Kalau
play was
misalnya
almost
baru
sealed
juga gimana
from the
gitu
moment
kalau
they
misalnya
lost
bisa
those two
ngeklik juga
members.
selamat
So
teman-teman.
Evos Glory,
Minion juga udah
the
keburu nyampe gitu.
first
minion
team
wave
to be
selanjutnya.
eliminated from playoffs, is the team that takes away that win streak from Helkert, Baloyski's Helkert. So 85% right now has dropped.
Yang ngalahin
He was still godly on it though.
Ngalahin Hellcatnya
Just
Balo itu
unfortunate
ya
for
Eposss
Mr.
terus,
Baloy,
guys.
but yeah. Unlucky, man. That game was just a battle of... Again, it's a slugfest, Arashi. Despite the early lead from Evos. Came down to one fight. Why is it always Evos? You know, they also beat Geek Fam in a similar way, right? To make it to make it to MSC, remember?
Oh, you're right.
It's base defense and then, man.
Well, like we said earlier, the base defense really seems like the weakest point almost for Geek Fam, right? Because there's no weird maneuvers to play around. I think most of the times when we see Geek Fam win, if they win dominantly, it's always when there's a neutral objective and they're able to get a flank, they're able to get the death timers rolling. But I guess right there, they kind of fell into their own trap, right? They went for the base attack and then they lost 2 members in that late game. And it's just so difficult. It really feels like it's a matchup between surprise picks coming in from the side of Geek Fam and big combos from Evos, which is why it became competitive. Because
Guys, gua makan dulu ya bentar ya.
Surprising, Geek Fam win.
Will makan dulu. Kapan Imo, gigi mo, kapan Imo, nanti ya. Nanti ya gilang ya.
Back and forth, you know, almost like
Nanti abis ini malam live ini live ML di TikTok tapi.
It was
Di YouTube gak ada yang nonton, di YouTube ada yang nonton gak kalau gue live ML lagi sih?
24, 25 minutes?
Ada yang nonton gak guys ya?
I think
Kan gue restream di YouTube karena biar akun TikTok gue aman ya. Kalau di
I didn't
kayaknya
expect
bakal
it
kena.
to be this exciting.
See, this is
Bakal kena
Evos have
suspend.
like leveled up since not making it to the playoffs for some
Tahu
reason. They
kena
beat
suspend emang
RQ
sekarang.
after not
Kalau dulu
making it to
katanya
the playoffs.
suspend
For
ya.
some reason, there's something with Evos, man. They always have to
Kalau
be in a
gue
tough spot
kalau gue
before they
main di
show their fangs.
YouTube.
It's just the cornered beast mentality.
Kalau di TikTok
And
ada
you can
walaupun
see that there were
2-3
a
orang.
ton of outplay moves coming in from them there. And of course, Annabelle, you gotta give a shout out to him as well.
Yeah.
Ya
A
gue
lot of
ambil
damage
makan
he
dulu ya.
had to do, the outplays he was able to make, and the decision making on when and where to go in. The fact that right here, dude, man, it really feels like
They could have just hit him.
yeah, exactly. They were thinking like, oh no way, he's gonna get taken out, but he doesn't,
And he got the turtle buff back.
and he takes out a boy here as well.
Man,
That's crazy.
just give it to him. Just give it to him.
You sure?
But it turns out it's not Annabelle, it's Captain Psychots.
Yep,
The
player
full
of the
damage
game.
Khalid.
Presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S24 series. It's Captain Psychots. You know, I really want to touch on Annabelle a little bit more there. You know, he went for an amazing performance on the Julian, despite being in the drafting phase. He was banned out fully, right? Ling, Nolan, Hayabusa, Fanny, but I think most of the space that he was given was created by Captain Psychots.
And it was put to good use, but again, you really see the difference. The same started with game number 1. When Captain Psychots gets the plays going, they just have a lot more momentum. And the fact that he is also the only real physical damage dealer here, and he's able to still frontline, still zone, still engage, and make those outplays happen with the extra bit of sustain right here from the Khalid's kit, just shows again that this guy has experience, if anything, and he's able to leverage that to really find weird circumstances where I think Geek Fam were just not ready for. Right, and again, whenever the Raging Sandstorm lands, that's where they do get massive value. So I think it's quite obvious that his impact there was really important to the rest of the team as well.
Got damage too, man. This was the moment where I thought, yeah, Geek Fam would have definitely gotten the win here. And then Beloyski jumping to the back as well, getting Brand's instant initiation, or follow-up rather, from Veldora, the ex-Evos member there. But in these skirmishes, Dreams too. They all played really, really well, honestly, right? They played as a unit. Really good placements, and I don't know, Evos, every time they're cornered. I think you mentioned this, Arashi, a cornered beast, dying beast. What was it? What was your line?
Oh, a cornered beast is the most dangerous one, basically.
And that's what we're seeing from Evos. They were definitely cornered, and they were definitely dangerous.
Are you calling them beasts?
They are beasts, no? Tigers are beasts.
That's true.
Yeah. They got beast Rans. Did we get Mr. Fantastic or Bombastic in game 2?
I think we got both.
That's a rare occurrence.
I'll be real with you. There were moments where Brands was absolutely weaving in and out, doing damage, and I'm like, wow, is this the version we're gonna get? And then he gets hit by an Eternal Guard when he has a Purify up. You know, there's some moments in this game as well, but to be fair, Geek Fam was making it quite difficult as well, as they should be. So,
But
it does come
remember,
down to this.
the first few minutes, do you remember when he got taken down?
Oh yeah,
But
that's
health
true.
hurt,
That's true.
He popped the Purify and walked up again.
Yeah,
Exactly. You
Now
never
it's
know.
like a minute thing.
Mr.
It
Brands.
used to be like game thing, you know, every game it'll be different. Now it's a minute thing. It's like 1 minute he's the best. The other minute is like, let me walk up to this bush real quick.
That's a bit scary. That's volatile.
He's
They
turning it
they
up.
got the win though.
That's true, but I don't think it's because of it. But
Okay, well,
Oh
you know,
wow.
if you win, you win is something he would probably say. But man, looking at the items here, I have to say, Mirko, Chadero on the 1-1, we were hyping it up. He even went for the pulling us together for that Inspire. You know, we didn't see a lot of that 1-1 moment.
Gonna have to put my hand up like Baldwin here. Unfortunately, for 1-1, right? It's weird for 1-1. In your ranked games, you would think this guy's a scaler, right? Like late game, a beast because you can jump around. But in pro play, it's different. You need to get the power. You need to actually win it out in the mid game. Because once we get into the late game, Winter Crowns, Win of Natures, well, in this case, just Winter Crowns, will be the main counter to the 1-1. So it'll be very hard to actually get a crossbow tank. When he popped in the crossbow tank, everybody just froze. And then no translation, no damage.
Win a crown, yo.
Win a crown, foo.
Crown Fu. Well, Chadero, again, we really were expecting a lot more in the early to mid game. That's exactly what we were talking about right here. But the 1-1 really wasn't able to do a lot due to the zoning. And you have to wonder if maybe Geek Fam were over-respecting side cuts because he's a lot squishier going with that like full damage build. And yet, every single time he raging sandstorms, everyone just backs away. The rich guy in the carry is going to be Annabelle, though. That was a great Julian performance. Despite the fact that he was nerfed in the most recent patch that we are using, he was actually able to leverage it, do a lot of damage. Almost feels like good old Julian.
Good old.
and good old Annabelle, man.
Oh,
Last season, Annabelle popped off towards the later stage of the season. And we're getting that glimmer back from Annabelle. It's really nice to see that back. And that glaring contrast between Vincent, it's intense.
Yeah. This is the reason, man, in MPL ID at least, right? We have so many good assassin users. This guy is 8th place. Evos Glory are 8th. And Annabelle's doing this well, right? Like, I actually rate him as my top 3
Oh,
this season.
So-
Even
who's number 1?
Sutsujin,
Okay.
Favion,
Okay.
okay.
Sir Annabelle.
Annabelle. Oh.
Interesting. Well, again, he did show...
Kyrie?
This season, it's like Annabelle and then Niall.
Wow.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'll take it. Niall has been performing
We can see the reason, right?
for regular season, right?
Exactly. In playoffs, probably Kyrie again, right?
You never know.
Probably.
Fnatic
I didn't
Onyx
even say
playoffs
Super
mode.
Cam. Super Cam number 1. Best jungler in the world.
Oh, caught him slipping. It caught him slipping, guys.
Clip that.
I never
that.
forget my boy.
Mr. Starless,
Supaken.
Ko-Ed.
It's going to be a change in the jungles, though. That's the question. But before that, Eterna,
Uh-huh.
what are we going to have?
I don't know. Let's ask Monica Ko over up on the stage. What is she doing?
Moko?
Moko? Monica? Monica Canado?
Juga, hai Budelnat. Gimana jantungnya aman? Enggak, kenapa? Karena tadi aku kira udah mau end, ternyata waduh. Kalau Nat gimana Nat?
Sama sih, tadi mikirnya udah mau kelar kirain kan, ternyata di luar ekspektasi.
Di luar ekspektasi. Tapi walaupun di luar ekspektasi tadi di game kedua, pastinya ada yang udah sesuai ekspektasi. Karena Geek Fam udah mengamankan tiket menuju playoff. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Tapi boleh dong, ini bisa dong di spill dikit nih. Ada mungkin persiapan Geek Fam menuju playoff sudah sejauh apa sih kalau yang diketahui Nat sama Pudel?
Persiapan kita sih udah mateng banget ya Kak. Terus kayak kita bakalan siap menggemparkan kota Bandung.
Waduh, Bandung, are you ready? Udah siap belum Bandung bakalan digemparkan oleh Geek Fam? Tapi apalagi sih ini gemparnya itu seperti apa? Mungkin Nat mau kasih tahu dikit-dikit, spill dikit.
Gak mau, pokoknya rahasia deh.
Rahasia. Ini yang makin bikin deg-degan. Kalau Nat nggak mau kasih tahu rahasia, siapa tahu Pudel mau kasih tahu nih. Pudel, spill dikit boleh nggak?
Gak dibolehin sama manajer aku.
Gak dibolehin ternyata. tapi boleh dong kayak mungkin persiapannya ini yang menggemparkan, berarti ini wajib dong, Geek Community wajib datang ya?
Wajib banget.
Wajib banget ya. Berarti kalian harapannya untuk Geek Fam sendiri menuju babak playoff seperti apa sih? Karena kalau kita lihat kan season-season sebelumnya, 2 season kemarin runner up, season kemarin top 3. Sekarang harapan buat Geek Fam di playoff seperti apa?
Harapan aku untuk Geek Fam semoga memberikan sesuatu yang maksimal mungkin. Untuk menang kalah itu urusan belakang, yang penting udah ngasih hal yang terbaik buat kita. Dan semoga aja sih M6, semoga amin ya kan.
Semoga M6
amin.
biar berlanjut ya dari M5 ke M6. Tapi kalau
Udah.
dari Nat ada pesan-pesan yang ingin disampaikan, harapannya?
Kalau buat aku untuk Geek Fam ya maksimal
guys,
aja
makan
sih
dulu, guys.
mainnya. Harus full 100% mainnya.
Full 100%, itu pokoknya ya harapannya untuk teman-teman dari untuk Geek Fam ini. Tapi untuk Geek Fam Unity ada pesan-pesan gak tuh juga?
Allah.
Ayo diajak-ajak ke Bandung. Karena mereka berdua, Pudel dan juga Nat dan teman-teman lain bakalan menggemparkan Bandung. Coba tuh diajak.
Kalau buat Geek Community jangan lupa buat dukung Geek Fam terus. Jangan lupa juga buat beli tiket playoff match Geek Fam dan beli juga merchandise Geek Fam. Kalian bisa beli di marketplace resminya Geek Fam.
Lama ya?
Pokoknya kita bakal seru-seruan di Bandung bareng. See you.
Seru-seruan di Bandung bareng. Kalau dari Pudel mungkin ada yang ingin disampaikan ke Geek Community?
Kayaknya udah semua disampaikan oleh Nat ya Kak. Jadi kayak ya pokoknya siapapun Geek Community dari manapun semoga bisa mendukung Geek Fam di playoff nanti.
Wow, tapi kalau prediksi hari ini seperti apa? Ini kan udah satu sama nih. Harusnya udah tahu sih, Monica udah tahu pasti prediksinya 2-1 buat Geek Fam. Berarti kali ini Monica gak nanyain skor deh, nanyain bakalan sesengit apa sih? Apakah akan membuat jantung kita copot juga seperti game yang kedua di game ketiga kali ini?
Kayaknya iya, soalnya tadi game kedua itu greget banget gak sih? Jadi kayaknya dia untuk yang match ketiga ini lebih panas sih kataku.
Game ketiga akan lebih panas. Kita akan langsung lihat bagaimana jalannya game ketiga. Apakah akan sesuai dengan prediksi dari Pudel dan Nat? Bakalan panas banget. So, tanpa berlama-lama, inilah game penentuan the match point antara Evos Glory dan Geek Fam. Silakan casters, take it away.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for game numero 3. It looks like the White Tigers are going to be forcing a game number 3. And we actually saw Psychots.
And Dreams.
Oh,
Why'd you forget Dreams?
I wasn't in the guy's toilet.
And Ranger Amos.
Wait, you weren't?
I thought you were like one of the bros.
Good psychots. Yeah, Ranger must call him Captain something that we won't.
What did he say?
Captain.
Oh, yeah.
Captain what?
He had some pretty strong words. You know why? He's like, I thought it was a done deal, man, but you gotta make it intense. And
Yeah.
now we're
We're here at
invested
game
now.
3.
I'm invested, just like I invested in the best device in the world, ladies and gentlemen.
What's the best device?
The
then?
Samsung Galaxy S24.
Just the S24? Well-
There's more to S24s?
It's the FE.
Oh.
It's the FE.
Wait, is that it?
Yeah, funny you would
That's the
mention it because we
FE.
have one on desk right here, right now.
That's yours now,
Eterna,
Arashi.
do the
Okay,
honors.
that's
Oh.
yours now.
It's mine?
Yeah.
It's an unboxing, dude. Show the viewers
'Cause
what you got.
I have the normal S24. What's so special about the FE?
Well, open up and
don't
find
know.
out because it's a phone with a flagship performance at a wallet-friendly price.
Wallet
That's what it
friendly.
is. The S24 FE is perfect priced at about like 9 million
9 million.
IDR.
That's crazy.
It has flagship level performance for that cost, and it still features the Galaxy AI, which makes your photos look even more amazing, and all the other spicy AI tools that Samsung has very generously allowed us to have in these flagship phones. So what you waiting for, man? Buy it now and get a total bonus of up to IDR 1.8 million, including a free 2x memory upgrade to 256 gigabytes and a free permanent MLBB skin.
It's all of it, man. And also, for you guys, especially MPL viewers, you get a free 25-watt travel adapter and a 200,000 Google Play voucher for purchases on Samsung.com using the promo code Galaxy S24 FEX MPL. Because right now, actually, it's selling like hotcakes, and it's the promo is getting used a lot, and it's only valid until the 31st of October. So you have I would say, well, what date is it today? Can you check on your S24 FE?
I'm too busy filming you.
Okay, but it's, I think, you have 26 more days. 26 more days to get it, all right? Go ahead and check it out, Samsung.com/ID, and you can get this. He's still recording, and it's probably better quality than my vlogs, because I don't have that.
Dude, it goes 0.6 times instead of 0.5 only.
And how much can you zoom? Can you zoom into
3
the
menit
screen
lama
right now
banget ya,
and
guys,
read
ya?
what's on the screen?
Yeah, it says
Gua udah habis
get
makannya
free
nih.
skin. Wait, what? Get free skin?
With what? How do you get a free skin?
It says UBS Gold.
It says with every purchase of the limited edition Benedict Electo Katana and Mythic Warrior.
Wow.
The sword and the ring.
Kan jijik.
I really want the sword, honestly.
Hey,
Is it expensive?
it is. It's quite expensive, but it's a good investment, right? But here's the catch. You don't
Okay.
just get it with the sword or with the ring. You can also get it with any purchase of the limited edition collaboration. So even the cards here that you see that have a little bit of gold in it, you can get it, man.
Are they
Get free
selling it
skins.
at the venue?
They are actually. I think you can find it around there, but it's easier when you just go and check out ubslifestyle.com and UBS Lifestyle's e-commerce.
I'll do that. I'll do that. I'm scared. You're right. I mean, sometimes in the booth it's sold out.
Exactly.
'Cause
We used to have a
everyone
vending
buys-
machine.
I miss that. I
too.
literally want to buy gold right now, guys.
It's pretty convenient, right? It's just right outside the door, so you exit and you immediately make an investment. I mean, you know, that's a great placement right there. But here, Eterna, let's look at the next voting topic here for the audience.
It appears scores are tied. How can Geek win game number 3?
Queen Elizabeth?
Let's see what the audience thinks. Okay, 44% ban or pick Khalid. All right.
Yes, that
Number
seems to be
2,
the case.
consider utility jungler. Number 3, deny dreams initiation. Okay, let's start with the first one.
Banner picking the Khalid. Malaide, I must say, it's an interesting approach to the situation.
Prince Harry?
You kind of look like him.
What? Interesting observation, Eterna.
Prince Charles?
Yes.
King Charles. Anyways, yeah, banner pick Khalid. The thing is, it really depends on the side selection, because if they're on red side again, I don't think they want to leave the lane open against Annabelle. The third one actually is an interesting topic to bring up. Utility jungle wasn't it like the alpha is as utility as you can get. Sutsujin has proven us that maybe it's not. Maybe you can go for Fredrin, but it is very risky, especially up against a Julia that clears very fast. It's still first pick for Evo, so yeah. If they want to ban out Khalid, they can, but they're gonna have to leave a Ling or a Nolan open. Now, is that a value trade? I think the Nolan, yes, you can ban out the Khalid instead of the Nolan.
Khalid over the Nolan, and immediately, man, Geek Fam. Look at the win rates going back to the full 50-50, like we saw earlier just today. But yeah, that could be an interesting approach right there. Kind of letting your opponents get something in exchange for something. So, could be the plan. But I feel like even for Evos, they might also have adjustments of their own. Because there's no way Coach Age was looking at the whole game going like, okay, let's go with the same idea.
Yes, jujur gue
Rely
pengen
on the
banget
Khalid.
cards ya.
I mean,
Player-player yang kalau lagi lawan
they
Eposss
could
tuh jago
still go
banget
for the
tuh, gue
Fulvi's
pengen
got the
banget
Matilda ban.
dia ke Eposss guys.
And then Geek can
Contoh
force
cards.
the chip to be left
Lagi ya,
open.
yang kalau lawan
I
Eposss
don't know.
waktu dia jago banget siapa ya?
Can Dreams perform on the chip?
Yes, he can. I think.
Oh.
I think he can. But either way, right? For some reason, the Geek Fam let go of the chip
Rainbow,
strategy
Rainbow.
hasn't really been working. They haven't shown it.
So could it be now? Maybe? We'll see, ladies and gentlemen, as we get into the drafting phase for game number 3, presented to you by the official tournament smartphone Samsung Galaxy S24 series. And we're going to start things off with Chidera scratching his head. So maybe he's also thinking about ways to take this away from
Di-ban, guys,
Evos
di-ban,
right
guys.
now. But it looks like Evos are
Gua takut
reverting
mati lampu dah.
back
Yeah.
to the Hellcurt ban. Hellcurt, Matilda, and then they go for the Gatot. So the Phoveus now has been left open finally. And Geek go for the same thing. Ling, Chip. Now, the last ban, though. Do you think it will still be the Nolan?
I don't know, man. Rashi?
It's either the Nolan or the Khalid. I must say that the Khalid seems to be a bit bigger of a problem technically. Now with the Hellcurt available though, gonna be kind of evened out. Both teams kind of losing a big potential weapon, but the Phobias actually is still left open.
Yep.
But do Evos want to go for that though? We talked again about the limitations of this Phobias and how Psychos has been so good at doing all these other things that the Phobias can't do. They will go for it. Now what will be the response from Geek Fam right here? They can match it with the Hylas maybe, if they really want to have that big, massive frontliner. But I get the feeling that Geek Fam are looking at something more aggressive.
Check.
I don't know if it's Geek style, but with the lane being banned out, technically they could pick up the Nolan for themselves, right?
But then Evos can go Hayabusa still, right? Like it's not as certain as that. I don't know. The safe choice would still be the Alpha, but without the Mathilda, yeah, it's a tough one to actually just utilize. And Phobias, in my opinion, even though, yeah, we have been seeing Psychons pop out.
Even Halit na guys.
Enablers and Khalid, Phobias is still very, very broken. They go for the Nolan. There you go. And the Edith. So leaving away the Valentina up for grabs. But Evos, with this, they can actually just go for... Do they want to go for Aramis here? For Clockun. That's usually the pick for Clockun.
Nolan.
If they go to the Faramis though, there's a chance that Geek Fam can go for the Valentina, and we've seen that they are really liking that Valentina pick in the hands of a boy, so I think it's a bit too early, if that makes sense. For Evos, they might be looking more at the jungle pick, right? With the jungle matchup so important. We've seen that Annabelle earlier was kind of shaved down to a handful of picks. So maybe they want to use this opportunity to pick up something for him now. Or maybe they're just that confident in his hero pool and they're going to let it slide.
We'll see.
High Grill.
Okay. So they're still opting to go for Dreams' big pick as well as the Vexana. So still the Tigreal Vexana combination. I mean, we saw that work out really well for Evos. I think we mentioned about Beloyski's hero picks over and over with the Helicurt and so on and so forth, but we failed to mention Dreams and his Tigreal, and we saw what he was capable of doing with it. So Geek now to close things out. Technically, they can be the ones to pick up... Oh, wait, but I don't think they should. I was thinking they pick up the Faramis, but technically, Evos, with this composition, it makes it really difficult. So they go for the Natan first. They go for the gold lane first.
And Natan very early on right here. It did
Kenapa
lead them
kocak
to victory in
makan
game number
ayam
1.
sama rawon?
And now with the
Rawon ayam sama ayam yang
There's a
biasa
lot
gue
of
ini.
magical DPS
Chicken
now.
breast.
But going with the Natan
Hujan
means
gede
that
di
they
Bogor
wanna
guys. Di sana
deal
pada
with
hujan
the
nggak?
1-1 potentially for brands. So they'll be betting it
Di
away.
sana hujan nggak guys?
That's the idea.
Kedengeran nggak sih zet gitu guys?
Early aggressive
Kalau
heroes
gua
to
jauh nih
shut
tuh.
down Natan.
Tuh.
Then I guess the Hermit should be coming
Ada
soon
zet
after
nggak guys?
this
Tapi
model.
kayak nggak kayak biasa zet-nya.
For Evos Glory, now they're actually going to have a little bit more leeway to pick up an assassin still. Against an Natan, it should be pretty
Noise
good.
deh coba misalnya.
I wonder if Annabelle is confident about his Fanny here in game number 3. That's a fair misband, so leading up to this, it's already kind of like a setup for what they're trying to do. Maybe on the Assassins, the Hayabusa is technically up for grabs as well. That is the safer choice.
Malah kedengeran.
Geek Fam take a different approach this time. They ban out the Alpha away from
Suara
Evos
hujannya
Glory.
guys.
Don't make sure that the early game aggression.
Kalau gua ngomongnya pelan jadi kedengeran suara hujan lebih gede. Nih.
Three massive engage tools. It's difficult for Geek to react. So now, getting the Alpha out of the picture, less of the burst damage, less of the clear speed, they can compete with that Nolan as well.
Pengen beli mic di Dynamic tapi nggak cukup deh guys tabungan guys.
And Faramis, turns out
Banyak liburnya guys sekolah
even in the
swasta.
second phase, Geek Fam will respond with that Hylos indeed.
I still want... There you go. I still want
Fanny!
the Fanny. That's what I was about to say. So the Fanny does come through for Evos, but now they have to think about a source of shred for the high-low. So gold lane, what are we thinking?
I mean, the first thing that comes to mind is the carry, but you know, it's not going to be very difficult to try and use the carry against all of these longer range heroes, against all of these danger zones, technically. So something with a bit more range would be preferable, but I'm struggling to find something that just fits the bill right here without any downsides.
Dive together with a team, I think. Just go Claude. It's a pretty okay matchup in the gold lane against Natan too. There you go.
There you go.
They go
Okay.
Claude.
Technically, this Edith can still be flexed, but I don't think that Beloyski should pick it up. What do you think Beloyski should pick up against the Fanny?
Well, I think it's either one,
Ruby?
Hylos or Edith. They can't go for anything
Oh,
else.
you're right.
They gotta go mid now. And it will be tough. The safest choice should be Valentina.
Aurora?
Duh, Hylos guys.
I
Evos
don't
lawan
know.
Hylos.
Up against this composition,
Kurang, guys.
maybe we can see a board
Panino yang
go
pakai
back
aja
to Lilia.
kesusahan.
Maybe.
Udah Ban ya?
It's a possibility. Aurora will actually be it. A lot of ways to stop the whole
Kenapa
dive
kalau Aurora
coming
yang
through.
muncul
More
suaranya
importantly,
suara
I think
Jepang ya?
whenever the Phobius tries to be a big of a nuisance, you just freeze him, put him in place, and that could be a great solution here to really negate the pressure of Captain Psychots in game number 3.
And I think also her passive, right? It really does help slow down whatever kill pressure that Evos has, especially now that Annabelle is on the Fanny. It's risky. I understand the value of the Lilia. She does still have her black shoes, but there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What do we think about these lineups?
I like it for Evos right now, but it really depends on how Annabelle does on the Fanny, because he's been really amazing on the other assassins. Fanny has been the one that he hasn't been able to impress a lot of people with.
I think it depends on how Geek Fam is able to abuse the Hylas right here. If Evos play into that playstyle and try and beat down on the Hylas with the Revitalize, I think it's going to be a bit difficult, and they might lose steam in the early game. But if they use the Fanny to target the right targets, I think Evos has it, man.
So let's get into it. Ladies and gentlemen, the final game for both of these teams. The final performance, the final bout from Evos Glory and Geek Fam. Let's see who wins this. Back to a best of one.
Cloud nih cuy, Cloud.
Let's take a look at it. Their final match in Season 14. Geek Fam, a possible tiebreaker looming if they actually lose this matchup. If All Three go win both their matchup. Wow, Revitalize early from Beloyski.
Very early, actually, swinging the trade in favor of Geek Fam. I guess he thinks it's going to be up by the time they go for the turtle anyways. But you can see the stark contrast for both gold laners. Initially not going for the Purifies, being confident in the outplay potential, but now respecting the fact that there's just so many of those crowd control tools thrown about. And you can see Vincent, though, on the Nolan, going to be farming a lot faster here. That is one of the main strengths of the Nolan. So you have to see how Annabelle wants to play around this, whether he's going to go for weird rotations or not. If you take a look at the emblem share by IndieHome, Firmness and the Festival of Blood actually for Psychots is going all in for the tankiness and sustain. So not only for the agility to really help him out with the roaming or the Wilderness Blessing, or rather to try and roam around. So it's a whole different approach compared to the Khalid we saw earlier. And most definitely for all the backliners of Evos, the tenacities, man. They want to be up close and personal. We've seen Clocken and Brands move forward along with the team, even when they really aren't supposed to. They want to commit with the aggression. So going with the tenacity, it's going to allow them a few more seconds to really have a big impact in some of these fights.
Also, audience prediction here by GoPay, 53% for Geek Fam, 47% for Evos. Wait a second, though, Dreams.
With a shove, not letting Beloyski getting that stun down, but will be able to walk back up to the mid lane. Beloyski will have to revitalize back now, pushing some damage back onto Dreams. The battle of the roamers. Dreams losing out, getting the regen too. Mr. Beloy, BBB. Oh, good poke.
That's a lot of damage being played onto Dreams right before the neutral objective. What?
Gila,
That's
aboy.
a takedown, actually.
Yeah, with pretty Glacier 2 up top.
Sayang flicker itu. Kelas solo kill Brands.
Wow. Evos Glory say, we don't care about the turtle. Our plan is to shut Chidera down.
Great approach coming in from Evos. Just adjusting, knowing that the
Ngamuk lah Brands.
at a level advantage, perhaps. And having more setup, having the early game high loss potential. So they give up a kill, but they might be giving up one more here.
Flicker Caldora. Ya ultimate tadi Psychot. Langsung di Gila! Gila, Annabelle! Oh cukup ya energinya buat kayak gitu-gitu ya? Gelo guys.
2-0-2 now on the Fanny in the first 3 minutes of the game.
Bang Fishnya kayak suara hantu sih ini.
Snowballing point. Then he can just say shh to the
Bang dari dulu ya.
I mean, he went with massive mechanics right there in that fight. And the audacity of this man. We've seen Fannies go in, get a big burst of damage, and get out. But even with no energy left, he just stood there and just committed all into that fight. It's a bold move, and it really paid off for Annabelle. Now Beloyski might pay the price.
Still able to regen. Chidera getting a lot of value.
Caldora mencoba menyusulnya
taking the turret
network
down
di
to
Brand
a
Z ya
quarter
guys ya.
of its health.
And despite everything that's been going on, sure, they were
Setting
able to take down
didapatkan.
Chidera. Oh, wait a second, Psychots 1v1
Oke lagi,
Veldora.
masih ada sekali lagi.
That's the Phobius. That's why the
Oh,
Phobia.
man. Yeah, he gets pushed back, actually forced in a recall, but Back to the
BTW di
point
RBL tuh
earlier
kakaknya si
on.
Veldora
Despite
kan ya?
Jadera being caught out once,
Bang gak ada yang nonton. Udah amat
Evos
guys,
still
nanya aja guys.
need to figure out a way to control this
Mirip
imminent
banget sama Veldora guys.
danger of the Natan. And so far, with Jadera being able to pick up that much gold, I do believe that that could be a problem.
Can definitely still be a problem if Brands doesn't really leverage the shutdown to try and bully Chidera in the lane. And with Voloisky looming very close by, you have to wonder what the plan is for Geek Fam for the next neutral objective, because Veldora is outmatched.
Oh, with the cutthroat, Veldora taken very low, but okay, he has to recall here. It seems like the setup will be pretty good for Evos Glory.
I like it guys,
Dreams gets
Anafel.
spotted out, goes in for the shove onto Voloisky. No follow-up just yet, just a little bit of poke towards Mr. Dreams. A boy still saving that frigid glacier. Has the flicker in 3 seconds. Psychon's on it. Annabelle with the orange buff. Dreams with the conceal. Now the implosion flicker combo. Getting the jump down with the eternal guard too. Big combo. Revitalize saves them now. Annabelle in the back line with the cutthroat too. Now able to get also in front of pursuit. Annabelle escaping and Psychon's is now. He won't be shut down. Clockwood is trying to run away. Trying to bait up some time. A Geek Fam win there, but they will not try to go for the turtle just yet. Clockwood?
What is he
Guys,
doing?
mana guys gara-gara petir
Flicker
guys.
forward! Oh, Veldora, one basic attack is burning down, but it's not going to be enough. Vincent with a chase, but Annabelle's coming down. Oh, fracture.
Lakunya, lakunya mati kah?
Surviving with
1 HP guys.
getting away with it.
That was a sliver of health. That was down to pixels.
Tadi petir terus
Both of these
headset gue
players
copot
for
guys, kok
Vincent,
bisa ya?
For Veldora, oh man, that was intense. But with this, it's a complete reset for both of these teams. Vincent is caught a little bit low. And it doesn't look like Evos want to go for the full throttle onto the turtle either. Annabelle looking for that purple buff first.
I think both junglers are going to be going for other things across the map first, but Annabelle, he actually spots Vincent right there, so he can be a bit more aggressive. And for the side of Evos, the all-in favors them a lot more. But whoa!
Jadera, trying to run away. Annabelle gets the assassination, so that imminent threat, they're dealing with it.
It's just so lethal, man. You just get deleted so fast. Well played for the side of Evos, but Geek Fam, they're trying to answer back.
They get the turtle for the kill up top, but it's a turret traded on top of a kill.
So again, it looks like Evos are doing really great at trading back, right? I mean, it looks like Annabelle was in no hurry to contest the neutral objective either, so that's just been it. They're going for kills again and again and again.
Baiting the frigid glacier, coming back at it. No cable, still able to escape. Dreams with the shove back and the implosion, catching on to two. Brad's down with the blazing duo and an eternal guard.
Gila guys, apa ini guys? Banjet.
Mr. Fantastic.
Gelo guys, banjet guys. Mode apa itu banjet?
Into the purify. Brand silencing the haters too as Clockwood gets the double.
That's a 3-for-1 trade, ladies and gentlemen. Evos are striking back, and they're striking back hard. Brant is not even at his power spike yet, right?
But at that point, it's just enough damage to really swing everything in favor of Evos. The fact that Annabelle, with only a Heptasis, was able to force out the frigid glacier from a boy, get him out of the picture, means that everyone else can just come in through. That danger, that idea for Geek Fam to kind of zone everyone away and deny the dive with the frigid glacier can't work if Annabelle keeps getting his hands onto a boy. So Voloisky needs to be a bit more careful right here. A bit more calculated with who he's supposed to be escorting around the map.
Oh, if you look, no way. Oh, Dreams, the shove, Clockwood implosion. Oh, that is just sad to see. Vincent getting read out by Mr. Dreams. Oh, you still want to go in. Implosion. No, not implosion. That's the entropy used up. They get Psychots. They trade Vincent for a kill down there, but look at the Fanny. Going up top. No glorious pathway here. And also, by the way, do you remember, Rashi, what Brands went for? The emblem? Was it the marksman emblem? Ooh. Because if he did, then this is already the power spike. The DHS and Golden Staff. Like, you just get these two items and you're already online.
We have to look back actually to try and figure out that that's exactly what he went for. There's so many combinations available for the Claude, and you might be right, Mirko. Looking at the fact that Evos hasn't really had an issue keeping Brands, you know, alive or even relatively impactful in this game. Look at this, no Dreams.
Rise on the Dreams, or shot. Flicker strike, cuts the flicker forward into the back line of Tadera.
Gelo Anafel guys.
Assassinated Dreams with the
Itu di Anafel guys, gak tunjukin tapi guys Ganser lebih menarik ya dibandingkan Anafel yang ini guys. Targeting dengan sangat baik di sana.
gets taken out as well. It's a 4-0. Evos will get a free Lord. They'll get a free turret in the mid lane. They'll get everything they want.
Every single thing, literally. They pick up the Lord, and it looks like they're gonna get more than one tower there with how much damage Brands is doing. That siege potential from the Claude is still there, and it's still alive. 5,000 gold lead for the White Tigers right now. I don't think anyone expected this outcome to get to this point.
I mean, the fact that they confidently just dove towards that backline, dude. Geek Fam can't do anything once that happens. They have to rely on initially taking the brunt of the aggression on Veldora or on Beloyski and then hitting back. If the initial strike hits a boy or even Chadera, what can they do after, man?
Oh, man.
5k gold lead for Evos. And I just checked, Mirko. I think, yeah, Brands did go for that marksman emblem.
Yeah. So that's why.
Yikes, dude.
The power spike's already there for him. Oh man, Brands did this at MSC. He goes for the Winter Crown instead of the Wind of Nature, so he can Blazing Duet, have the Blazing Duet still shoot as he Winter Crowns.
That could be a great moment right here, especially because Geek Fam are using crowd control to try and stall, try and stop the momentum in this fight. Now though, at least in the base, since it's still the first Lord, Geek Fam are gonna be able to clear it all the high ground with a ton damage as well. But Brands is at a 1.5, I believe, K gold advantage just earlier. And I think Chadera still is in the middle of trying to finish up his Holy Crystal.
I have a question though. With Brands' power spike hitting really early, and now that he has the Holy Trinity, does that mean that Evos are on a time constraint?
Well, technically, Brands is at the power spike already, but he still has more items to build, right? The Winter Crown, for instance, isn't really built just yet. So they're not really at that point where the gold is starting to get redundant just about yet, but they're approaching that point very, very early on.
Betul guys, ini toretnya Eposss guys. Ini Eposss mode apa guys? Mode ini guys, mode farming kah? Farming 14 juta.
Try to go for Beloyski earlier. Unfortunately, they're unable to do so, but man, even though we've been saying, right, the Phobius not as crazy of a playmaker as the Khalid, Psychots with the Flicker has been actually playmaking quite a bit. He's been using the second skill into the Flicker to get 3-4 members knocked up.
Si Pinter yang dapat guys.
Pursuit can just be tapped non-stop.
It's definitely an unorthodox kind of approach right there for Psychots. Usually you
Ini
would
strategi guys,
expect
4-1 nih guys.
engines coming in for the Phobius.
Iya nggak sih?
But I guess if you look at the composition of
Nanti gua guys.
not a lot of big shred tools that or a lot of burst damage that Psychos needs to respect with that vengeance. So
Kalau
maybe
gua
seeing that
lagi pakai
vulnerability,
Fanny
he
guys,
goes for
kondisi
the
kayak gini
flicker.
pasti gua mikir.
So even if let's say
Aduh, ini gua cuma bisa
a moment of
nyerang ke
control
arah
where Evos are walking in and then they get hit with the frigid glacier.
mid
Well,
atau
Psychos gets
jungler.
flicker right over,
Tapi kalau gua nyerang
sideways
gak akan
or
mati karena ada
over a
WON.
boy, and
Kalau
dodge
gua
is
nyerang
completely- that's the
ini
weakness of the frigid glacier, man. It's a
aura-aura
great
gak akan
tool,
mati, ada
but
pasif.
it's so telegraphed, right? The cast animation
Nyerang
takes
jungler
so
pasti
long to
kabur.
really lock people down.
And on the contrary,
Gua
right,
cuma bisa
a
jump
boy
shoot guys kalau pakai
can't
Fanny
go
guys.
for Purify, right? So he can't respect Dreams, he can't respect the CC coming in through Evos. He's forced on the Flicker because of Psychos as well as Annabelle.
Oh! Clock good.
Nice.
Well played. Just like that, no initiation tools. That's why I say you gotta keep clocking, man. Guy's good.
It's really good, man. It seems like his instincts on when to go in, when to use big moments like that, like the Flicker, was just really, really good. And immediately Evos, they go for the purple buff, so now Vincent in a tougher situation than before, and they seem to be trying to adjust the waves right here, going for a 3-wave push. With all the dive potential that they have, they can really have a chance to go for a big fight right here, and if it lands on the right people, if a big implosion or a big Eternal Guard lands on the right targets, this could be the end for Geek Fam.
I believe so too. I don't know how. I mean, technically they do still have the clear speed coming in from the Natan, but even then, oh, actually, wait, Annabelle forced a recall.
Glorious pathway dome. Oh, Psychots all the way to the back line. Dreams again, getting the implosion. Good for Glacier though from a boy to actually dismantle them in the back. The Psychots
Nice.
still available.
What, Brands?
Give it back away with the battle mirror image, but now Annabelle comes into the cleanup.
Kaderanya mati
Able
guys.
to get out two with the cables. Some clean
Mati nggak tuh?
gameplay.
Nggak kena.
Psychots.
Nggak kena ya?
Not
Kena
taking
turret ya?
it. Psychots
Masih kena ya?
just back in. Vincent
Masih kena
getting
turret
rid
ya
of
itu ya?
it. But
Jauh
that
itu
is
ya?
two big base turrets for two frontliners of Evos.
Kan gue soalnya nyerang Fanny tiba-tiba
Yep.
And it's only
Misalnya
Cyclops
last hit
and
nih guys ya,
Vincent
last hit
actually
gua tuh harusnya
the core
kritikal
members,
misalnya
but they're not
pakai hero
really
apalah,
trends
pakai
either.
misalnya
Annabelle and
pakai
Brands
Granger
hang
ya,
on to that
last hit
massive
Granger,
bounty.
peluru
They
terakhir
get
yang
two
merah yang double
base
damage
turrets,
itu. Tapi
and
dia
man,
keburu terbang
Geek
jauh
Fam,
dan
they did their best right there.
harusnya
Chidera
kalau
even slayed
normalnya
so
ya,
far
kalau
back
dia
and
nggak
the
terlalu
whole
jauh
health
kayaknya
up on the
kena deh.
Purify. But
Gua
again,
kadang
with
suka nggak
all-star
kena anjing.
Psychots flickering in,
Tiba-tiba hilang
and
gitu
once they
pelurunya.
thought that the coast was clear, Dreams follows through as well. The fact that they were layering the crowd control so well, Evos, this makes the backline for Geek Fam just so powerless. Even Beloyski here trying to frontline with the Hylas, for the most part gets ignored, man. They just walk past him and go for his teammates.
Wait, what is Chidera building next here?
One.
Wind of Nature. Against the Fanny, that's a massive problem. Against the Blazing Duet, it's also a massive problem. So the Wind of Nature will solve those issues. But for the most part, again, the front line can't really compare in damage, in tankiness, and the back line can't compare to damage output. So in theory, the team that can dive in the back line gets a bit of an advantage. But the thing is, Geek Fam can't really do so because their team really isn't as flexible or as like as bursty as Evos Legends. So this is where that combo mindset kind of works for Evos.
Oh, Beloyski's looking for a combo of his
Dreams.
own though.
Able to find the back there with a shove as well. Cyclops didn't miss it all. Then he be caught by the Frigid Glacier. Annabelle trying to jump back, but the Wind of Nature is bought as well. Vincent getting the kill onto Brass. Now Annabelle versus the world. Jumping into the Chidera, but the Wind of Nature is available for Chidera. This might be a big blunder from Evos. Veldora in a 1v1 against Clockun, but will not be able to get the kill. That is a 3-for-0 in favor of Geek Fam, and they are on the Lord.
That's perfect setup. There you go. Again, right? Just as you think that maybe Evos would have that upper hand, Geek say no. They have Triple B, and they're going to be able to get this Lord.
Oh,
And wait, they
boy
stole
steals
it.
it. Yeah, no
The boy
boy.
takes the purple buff.
No red tree.
And it's so difficult because now that purple buff is in the hands of the Aurora as well, it's kind of ideal for the side of Geek Fam. Let's take a look at the replay there, presented by the official tournament smartphone and Samsung Galaxy S24 series. They were winning so far, but then they clumped up together, and look at Chidera just free hitting. You cannot let this happen, man. Even there, Annabelle tries his best to try and get a window of opportunity to try and dive towards Chidera,
Timur
but he
lapar,
was
guys.
denied, and he was forced to go for a long way around. They've always been able to get an advantage by threatening Chidera, by zoning him or deleting him outright. Same thing like in game number 1. So if they don't allow themselves the right resources to try and shut down that
Gelo Annabelle.
Nathan, I feel like, you know, Evos
Kalau sama
has
Papian seru nih
a
guys.
good chance of losing this too.
Papian kalau udah kena ini respect biasanya guys.
Defense as
Tinggal
well.
dulu udah
I don't think it's
1-1.
that good. The wave
Tinggal
clear.
Tamasi menang guys biasanya guys.
Enhanced Lord charging the mid-lane. Dreams again with the implosion on the 3. Good Frigid Glacier to actually
Aduh,
try
guys, tiba-tiba
to
kena
buy some
one side
time.
ini
Bransel
kah?
going for the free hit. Veldora
Gelo,
kill on the turn. The
guys.
Psychos buys a little bit more time, but
Ganzet.
it's going to be a shutdown for Chidera. Annabelle coming back to life, defending in the mid lane. Geek Fam buying some time as they go for the base turret in bottom lane. No Veldora to play with, but it's still a man advantage. Chidera probably still has him in nature as well. They will be able to threaten this. Chidera pops into Entropy, gets terrified, and the Curse Blast is right there to clear it out. They lose just one base turret here, but 2 of their frontliners' lives.
Oh, again, very back and forth between both of these teams. A 2-for-1 trade as well earlier on. And I have to agree with you, Arashi. It really just boils down to if either Psychots and Dreams can look for that proper setup onto Chidera. And if they miss it, and if Chidera stays alive, then it's not possible for them to win in these team fights. Is there a different angle that's a little bit more reliable than that?
But that has to be the main one, unless they want to go for a big AoE combo like we saw earlier. That could be another win condition, but the point still stands. Right now, Chidera is at full items, and Brands has won for a couple of item swaps already. So, man, he is definitely dishing out all that damage, and the same thing can be said for a boy on the Aurora. After struggling earlier, now, as long as in the fights, he gets his Frigid Glacier right on top of Chidera, and technically, even though he gets taken out, he's done his job by zoning away everyone else trying to jump onto Chidera. Because if you're caught in the Frigid Glacier and you're getting beat up by a Nathan, you're not going to last very long, especially if you look at the items right here. Only the Radiant Armor for Psychots, and I believe Dreams only now getting a good chunk of magical defense. He was banking on deleting Chidera earlier and just going for physical defense.
Wait, Chidera Divine Glaive, did he sell his boots for that?
Yep. He sure did.
Okay, so just as Dreams gets the Radiant, we see that Chidera picks up the Divine.
Oh, no purple buff. Good steal from Geek Fam. Annabelle is offline now. Should be without the purple buff. And this should give Geek Fam the green light to actually contest for the Evolved Lord. Dreams? Implosion to the back, finding a boy. Is this going to be enough? The Eternal Guard to the back line as well, as a boy will still be able to escape. Vincent takes the purple buff. The Glorious Pathway gets used up. No Eternal Guard, no Implosion. That might have been a mistake from Evos.
That was the moment that they were looking for, right? But this time, Psychots didn't fully commit, so they do still have Psychots as their layer, their second layer of defense against Chidera. Let's see how this pans out once again.
Top lane slow pushing. Geek Fam gonna make a decision. Evos can play it slow.
Moving around right here, a boy.
Pas
Trying to
tuh,
just
klik aduh gua
harass
nggak lihat
and
lagi.
do some damage, do some scouting.
Lagi balas ini guys, berantem di Twitter guys, gua guys.
At this point, Geek Fam are gonna be forced to send someone back. And
Banyak banget waktu luang nggak?
the ultimates they used earlier, the Glorious Pathway.
Ngedit foto aja belum guys, Maneter Maru guys.
Glacier, everything is up. The entropy for Chidera as well.
Okay.
Eposss cuy.
Just like that.
Eposss is back guys.
To slow it down.
Eposss Esport.
All right,
Oh, ini
ladies and
dari
gentlemen,
Geek
here
Fam
we
cuy,
are.
yang pause.
Man, sorry, I was distracted with the recall.
This
Super
is
cool.
our first match, by the
Ding,
way.
ding, 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 ding,
Wow.
ding, ding,
Ding, ding, ding,
Is
ding.
this not match of the day?
Yeah.
Gila banget coy,
Is
Ethan
this
aja.
not match of the day?
It definitely looks like it.
It's
it can
not?
be. But remember, we still have TLID and RQ after this. So.
I know.
Oh man,
I'm a little bit nervous for that.
I'm not.
Well, you know, have stakes in the game, Mirko.
I do.
Ren, kita diskusi Ren. Coba Ren, pertanyaan gua nih.
Hey, what I do have is Campina.
Ooh, I'm so
Nanti aja deh.
excited to get my hands on Campina. You can have one
Twitter
this
gua
time
ketahuan,
around
Cok.
because you're sick. So now you'll feel my pain from last week.
Ah.
Very
Fair enough,
happy.
fair.
Wah, gua juga
So
asik.
guys, if
Ini
you don't
Geek
want
Fam,
to
Geek
miss
Fam ya?
out like
Yang ini Geek Fam
Arashi,
ya?
go ahead and check out Campina ASAP.
Geek Fam bukan guys
You
yang
can
technical
actually enjoy
ability
it
guys.
While we are on the technical break, I do believe you can actually use the GoPay app. You can buy it there. Or Indomart. Click Indomart too.
Yeah, there's a lot of different ways that you can buy
Mau nanya aja.
Campina. If you ever come to Indonesia, go
Tentang-
ahead, check it out because
tentang
it is
debat,
my favorite
tentang
brand
diksi
of
gitu.
ice cream.
It's literally my favorite brand now. Did I say
Band?
band?
Tentang diksi nanti aja lah.
Campina 7.
What do you use to go band for band?
Live di TikTok aja guys, soalnya nggak ada reply kalau di TikTok.
So I guess we'll see. I mean, to be fair. Oh, we're gonna get a replay.
Oh,
Oh.
I love it. Okay, Arashi, break it down.
Yeah, this was the engage earlier. Beloyski
Woo!
zoning everyone out, and look at that engage. The Eternal Guard, as well as Psychots jumping onto the
What
main
mati
two
sih?
front lines. So it's not just
Apa nih?
Chidera that's just doing a lot of damage. A boy, relatively
A boy.
undisturbed, unfocused, he's able to dish out all the damage, and he got a really good Frigid Glacier there as well. And
A
here
boy.
though, man,
A
we're
boy.
seeing it again. It was a great engage, but the Frigid Glacier kind of cut the fun short for the side of
Oh,
Evos
Psychots
Legends.
udah
And,
tap
Evos
ulti
Glory
aja
and
tuh guys.
Chidera
Pep,
just shreds
pep, pep.
everyone down. That's the big problem
Waduh,
here.
waduh.
We saw earlier the moments that Evos were able to
Ingin
actually get
dijamah.
a big decisive moment is when they were able to use
Oh, nggak moderator.
4 flickers jumping onto Chidera immediately, so that even if he
Emang lu dulu moderator?
does survive,
Yuk.
it's a bit too
Coba
late,
lihat
it's a
di
bit
live yang
dangerous.
mana lu
Because the
bertingkah.
nature, it protects you against damage, but not against crowd control.
Coba lihat di live yang mana
That's
Ryu lu
what
bertingkahnya
has been
Ryu.
abused by Evo so far, but now with the goal disparity
Pel dor.
negated by Geek Fam,
Pel dor.
it's just way too much damage, and now the only threat from the side of Geek Fam isn't just Chidera, right? A boy, as well as
Yes, no limit,
Vincent
yes.
or Nolan, they can all do some damage. And if you forget about the Edith,
Ah?
Primal Wrath, a very healthy amount of magical DPS too.
BTW.
Lagi stream
it was
ML.
also very unfortunate timing for Evos, I think.
Lagi stream
Because
MPL.
right when Annabelle, do you remember that moment when Annabelle went in?
Yep.
Looked for
Abis
damage.
ini
on the
kocak
Fami,
last game
and then
ini
he couldn't
Eposss.
get it because of Wind of Nature on Chidera. It was like 3 or 5 seconds before that
Yeah.
he just bought the Wind of
Gak ada
Nature.
yang nonton kecauan di
I believe
YouTube.
That was enough to get the win in nature, so it was incredible timing too. But also for Geek Fam, it just looks
Kamu
like
dapat
it's
login?
Mr. President, right? The whole composition is
Ayah!
for Natan. From the Aurora to the Hylos to Edith. It's just the Nolan that can't really peel, but in a way he can. He's able to disrupt the backline since we're going.
Wah.
Mr.
Ya,
Gary's
ya.
telling us we're going back into the game.
Ya, ya.
Okay.
Pendeng, apa kabar?
Okay.
Baik. Nggak nonton Awang di YouTube.
Lord is still up. Unfortunately for
Nggak nonton Awang di YouTube, Pak.
In theory, win out in a straightforward battle in a combo DPS.
Halo Yaya.
They have the far side of the map to play around with.
Mini
And I think
gathering.
it comes down to that. single lane can allow
di rumah.
some space to try and push forward.
Ba.
Geek Fam aren't ready when they have one member down.
Ong login deh, Ong deh.
Allow them to kind of force the urgencies for Geek Fam to make a mistake. So if they get strategic
Nah.
with this advantage, that could be a potential win condition. But look at Geek Fam, man, playing it just slow and steady.
Yeah, they see Nolan up top, so they try to pull the trigger. That's going to be another slow push as long as Geek Fam
Ya,
can't commit to the Lord. Always just slow pushes
Good,
built up by Evos up top and even in the mid lane. Beloyski actually walking up now. Trying to get some space back for Geek Fam to possibly threaten a Lord take.
I mean, technically, can Evos look
Siapa
for
tiba?
a split
Nomor
push
yang
on the
mana,
top
gitu?
lane? With the Claude?
Oh.
Cok ditelepon, Cok. Eko Saikot. Oke, Saikot. Kok Eko sih? Novel, aduh. Mantep banget tuh Veldoranya, guys. Aduh, guys, udah ente. Brans datang. Brans apakah Brans? Bransa juga harus mati di tangan seorang Veldor. Evos. Jam.
Oh no, 1 for 3 trade.
Eposss
The minions are on
di
the way as
bantai-bantai
well.
sama
Vincent is
Wonder
low, but they have a
Kids.
Lord on the way. They don't have to deal
Oh,
with that
jadi
top
gigimu
lane
nggak jadi?
either. This is not looking good for the White Tigers.
Shibal, guys. Aduh, berawal dari Retli anak setelan pabrik. Eposss gagal mendapatkan 14 juta terakhirnya dan hanya harus berpuas dengan 7 juta saja. Muka Baloy ngeselin jir. Apa Cok? Baloy mukanya biasa aja. Muka lu kali. Balu ngaca, siapa tahu mirip Baloy. Baloy sama si Kadera katanya adek kakak gitu. Adek kakak apa? Kakak adek gitu. Bang Eposss kalah kok biasa aja ekspresinya. Udah sayonara guys dari 10 tahun lalu mirip Kairi bang. GG mirip Kairi cuy. Eposss. Apa gua? Aboy rambutnya bagusan pendek ya guys ya Aboy ya. Biasanya sedih kecewa udah biasa cuy soalnya cuy. The last game juga guys. Mau gimana guys the last game? The last game udah kalah. Kalau menang juga 14 jutanya nggak bisa dipakai buat beli player yang bagus. Pun gue tipikal orang-orang yang percaya proses ya guys. Eposss 9 gigimu apa 9? Eposss berada di jurang kehancuran. Akankah slotnya dijual atau emang saham Eposss akan dijual guys dan dibeli oleh Sultan dari Solo bernama Jok? Ada dengan macam itu guys. Sayonara. Kok apa berjuang ya ntar di playoff. Jangan ngebadut lagi ya. Udah nggak ada kita kok, aman. Ada replay loh bang. Apa sih? Gua ngomong apa sih? Tadi nge-lag Cok. Sayonara dulu guys. Last game di sayonara cuy. Ada replay emang kenapa cuy? Emang gua ngomong apa sih? Kan gue bilang Eposss siapa tahu, bukannya aja tim kecil. Setuju? Jangan ngandelin nama guys, kalau kata gue mending ini sih. Mending apa tah? Apa tuh? Mending dijual saham ke orang yang peduli e-sport sih. Atau merger sama GPX guys, GPX. Bisa sama GPX. Kemarin kalau kata si Molly, apa kata siapa ya? Sama Tundra tuh. Sama tim Dota. Tapi nggak mungkin guys. BTW gue nanya guys. Kan Evos MPL ID kan ada klausul ya, bukan klausul sih, apa namanya? Ada aturan di mana kalau mereka punya tim lain di game lain itu dia nggak akan dapat dapat efek-efek eksklusif kayak recall, kayak notification gitu-gitu kan? Iya nggak sih guys? Tapi kok TLID ada ya? TLID, TLPH kok dapet ya? Kan mereka tim Liquid punya tim di ini di Dota guys.
Teman-teman dari Evos Glory, adakah yang ingin disampaikan untuk terakhir
kami janji bakal bantai diam.
Season 14 MPL Indonesia.
Terima kasih atas waktunya. Pertama-tama saya mewakili seluruh manajemen Evos dan juga players, manager
Acot
dan
kau.
juga seluruh coaching staff MPL Season 14. Mengucapkan terima kasih kepada semua Evos fans, semua EGK.
Geter soalnya, geter guys, denger gak?
Kalian berada.
Evos fans.
Kami mohon maaf atas performa kami yang sangat-sangat mengecewakan di
Ditepokin.
season 14 ini.
Mohon maaf
Itu yang
ditepokin.
pertama, kedua mungkin saya ingin mewakili.
Nah, kebaca dong
Evos
itu.
juga mewakili
Guntur,
Evos,
kecil banget.
Terima kasih kepada seluruh players.
Kayak change
coaching
Eposss
staff.
buat
2 minggu lalu kami udah fix nggak lolos playoff, tapi mereka masih berjuang keras untuk.
tapi Eposss mewakili Indonesia guys di kompetisi global apa gitu.
Dan juga tahun ini
Mewakilin
juga,
Indo cuy, GG Gaming.
kami juga saya juga mengucapkan terima kasih juga sama Valdo, Panzer dan juga Doma dan juga Fluffy yang udah hadir di season ini. Terakhir mungkin kami ingin mengucapkan ini adalah kali ketiga Evos nggak lolos di playoff. Ini juga jadi tamparan keras buat kami, jangan jadi bahan
Insert
buat kami.
coin. Oh itu tuh kebaca Guntur, GG Gaming.
Semoga kami bisa kembali lebih baik dan semoga Evos bisa kembali lagi kepada masa-masa.
Men.
Terakhir mungkin mengucapkan good luck buat teman-teman yang
Terakhir mulu lu.
playoff season 14. Semoga yang mewakili di Indonesia nanti di M6 bisa memberikan penampilan yang terbaik. Bisa
Masa.
memberikan yang terbaik lah di level
Nanti yang
M6.
punya M series bukan
Dan
Eposss
kami,
doang.
Kami pamit. Terima kasih semuanya.
Guys, kalau di bola tuh ya, kayak di London nih, yang punya Champions League cuma Chelsea doang. Chelsea tuh pasti gak akan mau guys. Arsenal dapat Champions League juga guys. Akhir mulu ya, iya kan?
Tentunya kita berharap
Kalau di sini aneh ya guys ya.
Glory comeback stronger di
Malah pengen gitu,
season
malah pengen tim lain tuh.
selanjutnya. Tapi
Katanya bisa diganti nggak sama
ada
Eposss.
yang begitu luar biasa di match pembukaan di
Kurang
minggu
ajar ya, saya lima aja.
ke-9 hari yang kedua kali ini yang juga menjadi match terakhir dari
Parah,
tim ini
Cok.
di regular season menuju babak playoff. Kita melihat bagaimana begitu sengit 3 game.
Jaga
2
jempolmu, Renaldi.
game akhirnya berhasil.
Nah, sayonara
menang
Eposss guys,
2-1.
thank you buat
Dan
season ini cuma
kita
Eposss pala kau cuma Eposss.
congratulations untuk
Kalau gua bilang semoga cuma Eposss terus sampai kapanpun gimana guys? Berarti kan gak akan ada tim Indo yang menang kan? Apakah itu egois atau gimana guys? Nah kalau tim PH kan mereka sama ya kayak tim Indo ya. Mereka tuh proud gitu. Mereka tuh bangga kalau ada tim PH lain yang emang juara internasional. Sampai ngebantuin kayak ngasih analis gimana cara lawan tim ini, cara tim ini. Dulu kayak Blacklist sama AP Blend gitu kan.
Tapi ya, we take it any day lah.
Ya,
Nah, menang, win is
semoga
a win.
cuma Eposss aja guys.
Oke,
Mungkin karena mereka udah
ini
3 kali ya.
jadi match
Eposss yang nggak lolos
terakhir kalian
playoff.
di regular season
Dari 3
sebelum
kocak
kalian
yang nggak lolos
nanti
playoff.
menuju ke
Ah,
babak
thank you.
Persiapannya ke babak
Udah
playoff
ngisuh,
seperti
guys.
apa nih?